You're watching the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero.
The Stars are out tonight. 118 of the San Antonio area's finest prep football stars are here for the 47th anniversary of the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game, presented by Valero. Welcome everybody inside the Alamodome. My name is Chuck, his name is Matt. Good to be here with you, my big friend.
Absolutely. The booth's a little tighter than usually when you and Don are up here, but it's all right.
That's right.
We do podcasts every week. We're used to being close.
Absolutely. You know, the kids get bigger every year and the size of the booth just gets bigger too, not by happenstance. But Matt, the one thing I think we're always mystified every year is that when we play this game, it's supposed to be an exhibition, but yet it always turns out to be hotly contested, and we seem to bring out the best of these young guys who are playing their final high school football game. I know you might have the toughest job in the booth tonight, and that will be, can you please tell me about 3 of these guys that will be suiting up for Team White and what we can expect tonight?
Well, as Coach told me, if there's a scoreboard, we want to win. So all these guys are going to be playing to showcase their talents, but they're all also going to be showing to try and win this game. First up is Caden Keith. Probably the guy with the best arm in our area. 59 touchdowns, 4,600 passing yards this year, and he's got some legs to boot with 544 of them boys. Piper was a really good team this year for a couple of reasons. One of the big ones was Caden Keith.
And he's got some guys blocking for him up front, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jaden Beal steals offensive line, gave up very few sacks this year. 0 sacks allowed for Jaden Beal. He is one of the best offensive linemen in our area for a reason. 6'5", 310. Going to have a rough time getting past that young man. And Piper's going to have, or Caden Keith, going to have someone to throw to as well. Tyson Dean, one of the most prolific receivers and DBs in our area. 32 total touchdowns on the year. He was phenomenal for Southwest, one of the huge reasons that they had their best year since 2011.
Yeah, it seems like Team Blue is going to have its hands full on defense, but I really like where we're starting with these guys, and it all begins with the big fella up front from John Jay.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. First of all, though, Damian Charles is phenomenal. Defensive MVP for the John Jay Mustangs. Gave the Southwest Dragons everything they could ask for in that division, in that district, and they're going to have their hands full on Team White trying to handle Damian Charles. Jackson Bays behind him is also phenomenal. He actually switched to safety last year to make room for Hank Hendricks on the Bernie squad. Worked out pretty well for him. He's going to UTRGV for a reason, and he had a phenomenal 2022 season, had an even better 2023 and 24. And up front, Tyler Hurst. Reagan was a great team all year for a lot of reasons. Their running game with Cole Pryor was a big one, and Tyler Hurst is the reason that Cole Pryor was running all over people in his district. One of the best left tackles in this entire San Antonio area, and a National Merit Scholar, Chuck, smarter than either of you and I.
Well, that was a given, my friend. Well, we've got great players on the field, of course. We've got great coaches in the building here tonight. 2 key builders of programs will guide these schools, and we'll meet the 2 coaches of Team Blue and Team White right after this.
San Antonio Sports would like to thank Valero and all of today's sponsors for their support of senior athletes.
Team White has won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. You want the ball? Which way do you want to kick? White, put your back behind me. Blue, this way. Team White has won the toss, has elected to defer. Team Blue will be receiving. Shake hands one last time. Good luck, man.
Once again, thank you to Valero's Seymour Battle. And also, out there, Frank Harris.
Today's broadcast of the 2025 San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game is presented by Valero and sponsored by Whataburger, H-E-B, Frost, Methodist Healthcare, and Sierra Auto Group, Taco Cabana, Thomas J. Henry, Via, Coca-Cola, The PM Group, Powerade, Crisis, Academy Sports and Outdoors, The Gomez Law Firm, Beluga Air, Centro Med, Enroll SA, Living Way Church, Christus Children's, San Antonio Zoo, Air and Plumbing Today, the Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, IBEW Local 60, and ACNowSA.com.
It's always a short week getting ready for the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game, but we think we've got two guys that are equal to the task today. For sure, Eddie Salas, the guy from Harlan High School, the head coach who's never not made the playoffs in his career, Matt.
And Nick Rogers, just 3 years at Piper, has made deep runs in the playoffs both years he was there. He said for him this week, he had to take a little bit of a step back so he could also enjoy this, getting to know the 59 guys or so on his roster. And hearing from both coaches, they're stoked to be here, Jeff.
It's definitely challenging and unique, but we're up for it. And again, it's not every day you get to coach athletes of this caliber all on the same team. So we quickly noticed that yesterday.
Faces light up and excited to be here. What a treat.
Matt, I'll tell you what a treat is, that haircut of Nick Rogers. That's elite, bro.
Elite, dude.
All right, when we come back, we are getting that much closer to kickoff. It's our national anthem, and then the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game here on CWSA.
Regardless of their circumstances. San Antonio Sports also has a library of 68 professionally produced videos that are free to the community and encourages kids to stay active while learning basic skills, soccer, track, basketball, volleyball, and general exercises. The time is now for our kids, now more than ever. Join us, join the movement, join the power of sport. Donate, participate, volunteer.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the presentation of colors and the singing of our national anthem, presenting the colors tonight, Joint Armed Forces Color Guard, including the presentation from the United States Army.
You're watching the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero.
Welcome back. Here's our PA announcer, Milton Hope.
Also, at this time, we ask that you join us in a moment of silence to honor the victims of the devastating wildfires in California, also the recent tragedy in New Orleans. Let us take this moment to reflect on the lives lost, the families affected, and the strength of the communities as they begin to heal and rebuild. Thank you. Now, singing our national anthem this evening is Officer Rebecca Vermeulen with the San Antonio Police Department.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Free and the home of the
Great job. Please remain standing as the colors exit the field.
Game time weather. Game time weather is sponsored by Air and Plumbing Today.
Aaron Plumbing Today shows us that the game time weather inside the beautiful Alamodome. A room temperature, 72 degrees, Matthew. By the way, great weather too. Really turned out to be a nice day outside as well, but 72 and we are ready to play some football. Team White wins the toss. They will defer though. So Team Blue is going to start with the football for the 47th anniversary of the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero.
Chuck, you're cold-blooded, though, so even when it's cold outside, you think it's nice. This last week has been lovely for you.
Layers, dude. It's all about the layers. If you start your day with layers and you start your day warm, everything
You'll be good all day.
will be good.
All right. Let's hope these offenses start out hot, huh?
Yeah, without a doubt, and we're going to see it all unfold here before us. Start off with our Taco Cabana kickoff. Got two deep guys back there. This ball game to start, including Carter Williams from Canyon High School.
And of course, our great media partner, WOAI News for San Antonio, CW35, Fox SA, Spectrum, and San Antonio.
All right, here we go. Canyon Lake had a great season too. Carter Williams might just go ahead and mess around and take this one back.
Yeah, that's such an axiom, right? Every year, a lot of these guys coming from programs that had elite years, and it just goes to show you, when you win, everybody wins. Everybody gets the credit, but we are underway here in the Alamodome. Ball's taken inside the 5 by Team Blue, and not much going on there thanks to great special teams play by Team White to start this football game.
Yeah, that's actually one of the kids Nick Rogers said to watch out for. I believe that was Diego Davia from Smithson Valley, number 43. I asked Nick Rogers before the game, I said, if I was to tell you won and that you had one stud MVP on the defensive side, who would it be? He said, I would not be surprised if it was Diego Davia.
Yeah, I won't be surprised either if this guy, Isaiah Mackey, has something to say about any of that.
Oh.
What a season he's had.
It's all right. We've all done that on the field before.
Turf Monster making its presence known here early. And a pretty good gain there on first down for Team Blue.
Adrian McDade is one of the guys that Harlan brought into this game, Coach Salas's guys, and he said Adrian's done a really good job of kind of relaying information. Obviously, all these guys from 68 different schools across our area. Going to be hard to teach offense in 4 days. Adrian McDade's done a good job helping the rest of the guys on Team Blue.
All right, here we are on 2nd down and 5, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this today too, with really good defensive line play. Both of these teams are loaded along the defensive line, and right there, Team White coming up with a big play here and an early 3rd down for Team Blue to try to stay on the field.
It's going to be a lot of running today, Chuck.
Nothing going outside as they try to do a little quick hitter out on the left side, but a host of many as we take a look at the starting lineup for the White defense. A lot of guys swarming to the ball. Sam Draper, what a year he had at Johnson. Diego Davila, your guy. Of course, what a season Smithson Valley had, capping it all off for Larry Hill and his bunch, winning the state title about a month ago.
Yeah, one of the guys that Coach Rogers told me to watch out for as well on that list, Freddie Padilla, the Churchill defensive lineman. He said he is, quote, a stud and a heck of a football player. Churchill had a good season. Freddie Padilla was one of the huge reasons that they almost made the play, or that they did make the playoffs this year, excuse me.
Okay, so Team White forcing an early punt here. Bringing some heat, try to block the punt, but it is away and sails out of bounds. Looks like Team White's going to have pretty good field position to start their first series of the ball game, nestled around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be Caden Keith, I believe, for Team White, leading the offense, the quarterback. And we talked about him in the open, Chuck. The arm talent is insane. And when you have your own quarterback, like Coach Rogers does, it makes everything a little bit easier to get the offense installed, even though you do only have 4 days.
It's always a request by the head coaches when we, choosing up sides here annually for this big ball game. Let's see, Caden Keith already have fun with the camera guys back there.
He's being a little bit more careful when he runs off this time.
Oh, we're going to get a nice completion there, but an even better defensive play on the back end by Jamari Smothers from Roosevelt High School, who closed in a hurry, Matt.
Talk about smothering. Man, that's what you got to do. You got to keep everything in front of you, especially with this offense. It's an air raid offense. You want to play 2 safeties deep, 6-7 man in coverage. That's what they're going to try and do all day here at Team Blue to try and keep Team White in front of them.
Okay, they're going to stay on the ground this time, and nothing going there either. Thanks to one of those big, beefy guys up front, Alexander Chicarillo from Harlan High School. Eddie Salas, we've talked to him plenty about Chicarillo over the years, and just the consummate professional, and boy, does he got some ability.
Yeah, 3 guys from Harlan High School. Really, 3 of the best players in our area as a whole helping Harlan and Coach Eddie Salas install this defense.
Gonna blitz, and they're gonna get home. Team Blue sending the house right there, and it's Kevon Carter from Wagner High School coming from his linebacking spot, and clear and free to navigate.
It always surprises me when not surprises me, but it's always funny to me when these coaches know their personnel so well. I asked Coach the same question. Defensive MVP if you win the game. He said, I would not be surprised if the Wagner young man, Kevon Carter, is the guy who makes the key differences, the key defensive plays, and he's already showing up on the first possession, forcing this 3-and-out.
Punt is away, although it looked like it was going to have a chance there to get blocked, but ends up taking a really nice roll, and now it's going to be returned. And great job by Team White covering that kick. We've had 2 series, and the defense is off to a hot start. in the 47th anniversary of the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game. We'll be back right after this.
Methodist Healthcare provides world-class expert care for everybody who calls San Antonio home, or hospital care for more people in more ways than any other health system in the region. When it comes to selecting care for you and your family.
Closed captioning for today's game is sponsored by Living Way Church.
Second series into the ball game, and already we're seeing changes here on the offense by Team Blue. Now running the show is Holy Cross's Gibby Alvarado, Matt.
Yeah, Gibby led his team back to the title game again this year. Once again fell short, but 2 years in a row in the state championship game. Can't ask for more at the TAPS level.
No, I mean, they were as good as any team we saw all year. They've got all kinds of talent at Holy Cross, and really a driver too. They run the table and not only win a state championship, but do it undefeated. I mean, what a season. Gibby Alvarado, what a career this young man had. I mean, look at these numbers. They blow you away.
It's one of the fun things about this game too, Chuck, is just seeing the TAPS level, the 1, 2, 3A level, coming up to play with the 5A, 6A guys. How do they compete? How does the speed of the game look to them? We're going to find out how Gibby does right now.
Gibby's going to throw it this time, and he's got a man wide open down the field, but it is broken up. Outstanding defensive play on the back end by Nathaniel Ortega from Veterans Memorial High School. Read that one all the way, and big safety coming over and making a play for his squad early on.
Nick Rogers told me before the game, he was like, you know what I didn't know? How much talent is in our area. You focus on the district guys when you're in the season, and then you get to see all the talent that you have, and he was like, I was surprised when we had our first day of practice. I was like, wow, these guys are really good.
Look out. Blitz is on. And that was actually the great play call there for a blitz, but not able to make the completion was Team Blue, and they've certainly not enjoyed the benefit of good field position to start this game, and so far they are 0-2 trying to move the football after 2 drives.
Yeah, fielding that punt really hurt them. Probably should have let that one roll into the end zone by the returner, but you can see if they can get a little bit better field position. We're seeing something interesting on the punt as well. 2 guys back might have a little trickeration, a little misdirection going on if one guy tries to go back and the gunners are trying to find out exactly where the ball is. That's 3 punts and 3 near blocks, Chuck, too.
And now a fumble. But a fortuitous bounce for Team White.
Diego to be again.
He's off to a quick start, isn't he? Let's see if that'll charge the offense up for Team White as they get the ball for the second time when we come back.
Searching for a great price on a car, truck, or RV? Don't look any further. Searching for a great price on a car, truck, or RV? Don't look any further.
everybody had a good time at the Navy All-American game. A record crowd there today in our San Antonio Zoo Smile Cam. It looks like whatever was going on in that game is contagious, and everybody's still bringing the high energy as we play underway here in the first quarter of the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game.
Going to be excited to see what they do here. We know they're going to air it out, but with the pressure coming from Team Blue, going to see how Caden Keith gets it to his receivers now.
Ball is up and thrown out of bounds, and a great job again by Team Blue's defense. Whoever was rushing on the right side there doing a great job of not only holding the edge, but also getting right in the face of Caden Keith.
Once again, bringing the pressure on him, and can't throw those, especially in this game, or that's going to be picked off no matter how much arm talent you have.
Right, that was Samuel Valenzuela from Holy Cross, so another Holy Cross guy. Get some tape time.
We have 3 of them out here. I mean, they had a fantastic season.
Caden Keith dropping back, looking deep. He's still looking deep and looking downfield, tries to throw back across the field. Just a little too tall for his intended receiver downfield.
Well, that was designed rollout to the right. They were looking for the running back coming back left on the wheel route. That was Noah Logsden. They call him Loggies, 3-year Letterman, all-district running back. I think he was actually our player of the game on TNL this year. I think he had 3 touchdowns in that TNL game. So trying some different stuff. They said this is going to be a pared-down version of the Piper offense, but it's covered well by Team Blue.
Yeah, Nicholas Henry doing a good job. He was the Seguin receiver downfield, trying to find some space, which he did, just a little too tall. Throw it again. They're going deep towards the end zone. Ball is up in the air, and it is picked off in the end zone by
Smothers.
Jamari Smothers from Roosevelt High School, his second big play of the ball game.
Talk about smothering. Just that free safety. I'm going to say that all day. I already know it. The free safety out there in the middle of the field. Just watch how much ground he covers. Roll out, trying to throw it back to the post. He covers all the way across the field, makes a great catch, and that's going to be a touchback. Our first turnover of the ball game. What did I say to you on first down? You can't throw those balls in this kind of game. People are too talented. So Caden Keith throwing his first interception. Didn't do that a lot in the regular season. Jamari Smothers making a heck of a play.
Yeah, and Jason Marrera from McCullum High School also back there, 32. I mean, that was blanketed about as good as you can do. It's Eddie Salas's plan for having a really good defense, certainly off to a great start. And now, because of that pick in the end zone, Team Blue enjoying its best field position of the ball game from the 20.
Here's what Isaiah Mackey does best right there. Isaiah Mackey, the quarterback for Team Blue, that's what he does best. Zone read, give him one read, and if he doesn't like the pass, he's going to take off and run.
Guess who made the tackle? 43 Davila, Smithson Valley.
I'm just going to guess he's going to make every tackle. He's that kind of guy. Smithson Valley won state championship for a reason. It's because of guys like that.
Well, they've had some good ones over the years, and they've had some good ones that have played in this football game, which we'll get to as we move along the broadcast. Team Blue back to pass.
They're trying
downfield. Just going to throw it away.
You love to see it trying to take shots, though. Everyone's trying to make that big play. It's the All-Star game. We're going to see how much the defenses took to the coaching. And right now, they're playing their keys. They're playing assignment football. Doing a really good job on defense right now.
Yeah, and Isaiah Mackey, from East Central, doing a great job, I thought, too. You know, he's drifting and extending the play and hoping that somebody would fly open free, but it just wasn't there, so he lived to fight another down. And it'll bring up 3rd and 9 for his squad as they try to pick up their initial first down of this ball game. They're going to spread you and dead you on this series, or at least this look. Mackey dropping back. It is caught, and trying to get the first down and move his way up there is Carson Jones from Kerrville-Tivy, but he may just be a smidge short. But an excellent job, Matt, trying to find the sticks.
One of 2 Joneses from Kerrville-Tivy that we have in this game. That's one of the 3 pairs of twins that we have in this game. We've only had 3 pairs of twins in the entire history of the San Antonio Sports All-Star game coming into this year, and this year we have 3. So now 6.
Do we have to do trivia every time we're with you doing something, whether it's a podcast or a ball game?
Yes.
Actually, very nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We're going to go for it. 4th and short.
Like it. Oh, give it to the big boy and watch him run. Wow, gutsy call here
It's the Tristan
in this
Escobar.
All-Star game, and a great run by one of our favorites, Tristan Escobar, the do-everything guy from Brennan High School.
Man, he plays everywhere. He's a two-time All-District Special Teams Player of the Year, 2 sacks. He had touchdowns running on offense. Put him anywhere. He's just a football-playing Jesse. That's what they're going to call.
Did you see that too? I mean, how hard it was to catch that air and snap. I mean, you know, we did a lot of Brennan games over the last couple of years with this guy and the career that he's had. And every time we leave a ball game, that's the guy that stands out the most. A Brennan ball game, I should say. Now Team Blue going to go back to the ground. Actually, really good yards over there by Will Reynolds from Wagner High School.
We did a Wagner game this year, I believe, over at Rutledge Stadium. Will Reynolds, I believe, had 200 and some odd yards of offense in that game. He wasn't the player of the game because they didn't win, but he is one of the best running backs in our area for a reason.
He's Central's quarterback, Mackey, going back up top. A little quick hitter outside. Glorified run game. And picked up pretty decent yards there, but quickly again, Team Blue looking at a 3rd down situation, but it's manageable. And heck, if they went for it on 4th down where they were last time, you got to believe this is 2-down territory again. So the play call comes in.
I believe that was Carson Jones again on that catch.
Mackey's going to keep it himself, and he's going nowhere. Draper from Johnson High School, one of the best safeties in the region, coming up and making a play. That was a huge one there because it was a TFL, and it backs up Team Blue behind the sticks. What a play individually for that young man.
And talking to T.P. Miller, who coached on Larry Hill's staff in the All-American Bowl before this, spoke to him after the game, and I was just like, what has Gabe Simpson and Sam Draper, what have they done for your program? He said, we would not be here without guys like Sam Draper. Once Ty Hawkins left, they were looking for leadership. And Gabe Simpson, Sam Draper, guys like that really brought the Johnson program, put them on their back. Bubba Johnson as well, along that group.
Illegal substitution. Offense. Cole Ben in the offense. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Hey, Charlotte, your dad loves you. That's what the ref had to say before the false start. But anyway, Sam Draper, one of those guys. He's a culture guy, is what a lot of coaches would call him. So really great tackle there. Heck of a football player, too.
Too many men on the field, but so far that was the first penalty of the game, and you'd think that you're going to have some of those situations arise with all of the different substitutions and different personnel packages that will be on display in this football game here today. But Team Blue at least should be able to at least get the ball out of the shadow of their own goalpost for a change.
2 returners once again.
Ball is received.
Watch out.
And good coverage by Team Blue. But again, Team White is going to enjoy decent field position as we play on here at the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game in the first quarter.
Timeout.
All right, friends. Rebecca here with my 2 new friends. Cousins Austin and Amir are going to go head-to-head in that drop sack race. We're going to put y'all to the test. You ready to race? All right. The first one is jumping their sacks all the way to the 15-yard line. Come back across the goal line. We're going to go home with a goodie bag.
You're watching the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by Valero.
Oh, the Alamodome. It's sunny outside and it's nice and cozy here inside as well. As we get ready for another series from Team White, Kevin Hernandez is in the ball game from Burbank High School and doing what he does best, tuck and run. And what a season the Bulldogs had. I mean, that first time they won a district title in 50-something years.
I mean, it was just incredible what Coach Mold and his staff did down there. And when you have a guy like Kevin Hernandez, another guy like Israel Zapata on the outside that you're throwing to, it's just it's a wonder what you can do with that kind of talent.
Ball's on the ground, and Team Blue has come up with the first big play of this ball game.
Guess who forced the fumble, Chuck? Guess who forced it? Kevon Carter, the Wagner product. What a tackle. What a tackle. Look at him come off the edge. Helmet right on there. Pop the ball out. Rally to it. Hop on top. That's Tristan Escobar.
Yeah, I was going to say, and guess who recovered? I mean, there's just some guys that have this innate ability to either A, make a play like that and force the fumble, or just happen to be at the right place at the right time because the motor is so off the charts. Two guys making a huge play.
You put yourself at the right place at the right time because of your talent. And if you prepare the right way, your talent takes you to the right spot.
Good old-fashioned bully ball from Team Blue right there, just stuffing it right up the middle. And way to finish off that run is Adrian McDade from Harlan High School. And McDade's another guy that, Matt, it seems like every time we do a Harlan game, it's Adrian McDade, and another guy that his head coach thinks an awful lot about for obvious reasons.
Yeah, he loves Adrian. They had the two-headed monster over there at Harlan. It was Jivery Graham, who's actually legally deaf and playing football at an extraordinarily high level. And then you have Adrian McDade, who's the senior, really the track star of that football team.
It's McDade again, and he might be a track star, but he's obviously looking for some contact right here as they run between the tackles twice now, Team Blue, and just kind of asserting itself with that huge offensive line up front.
Coach Silas told us he was going to dink, dunk, and pop over the top. That's what he's going to do here. He's going to try and run the ball. He thinks he has an advantage on the offensive line, and I can't dispute that, honestly. His offensive line, his defensive line, he thinks that's where his advantages are on this team, so they're going to try and use that offensive line, get this defense on their heels, maybe try and pop a couple over the top.
And we're ticking down here in the first quarter, and the clock has struck zero.
The end of the first quarter.
Well, the first game was a defensive struggle, and the first quarter, the defenses have owned it as well. We have played one here in the Alamodome, and our score 0-0, but you know some offensive fireworks are just ahead here at the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game.
Shuffle it around. You got to keep your eyes on the prize, okay? You got to remember where the prize are. And if you get it right, your whole row, where's this field row over there? Hey, Frank is going to win. You ready? All right, let's take a look at the board. See which one it is. Keep your eyes on the prize.
You have your 2025 San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game t-shirt, or hat, or hoodie, or program. Be sure to stop by the official merchandise stand or the South Plaza entrances, level 3 of 121. Get your hats, shirts, hoodies, and game program. If you pre-ordered merchandise, you can pick it up in section 121.
Well, Matt, to say we had a defensive struggle in the first quarter would be an understatement. 48 total yards is all we have seen so far, but Team Blue seems to have something going here. 3rd and manageable. He takes the snap, looking for the first down, and by sheer guts and guile, able to pick up the first down.
Man, that's what he does best. East Central had a heck of a year, mainly because of what Isaiah Mackey does. He makes magic happen. Him, Myron Robinson, who is the Division I commit, going to Arizona. He's going to the wrong Arizona school, but I mean, it's okay. We're Sun Devil fans up here in this booth. At least I am. But Myron Robinson, Isaiah Mackey, going to be huge in this game.
Yeah, speaking of huge, Tao Valet plugging that one up, but not before Blue picked up a first down.
I was not going to try and pronounce that. I was.
They're going to try a little reverse here, and they got some room. Great pickup, great play call, and caught everybody on white. Not staying at home, and Nick Hall from Holy Cross with the biggest offensive play in the ball game so far.
One of the questions in this game is always, how are the TAPS and lower classification schools, how are those guys going to adjust to this speed of the game? I think it's pretty obvious. This game is not too fast for them because that level of ball in TAPS is still a high level of ball. Holy Cross went to the championship game. They don't do that without playing fast, playing on time, and playing good, great football.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that's seen some of these Houston TAPS schools or Dallas TAPS schools, and I mean, Holy Cross just ate them all up. I mean, again, maybe a drive away from winning a state title this year.
100%.
Because they got dudes. And we've seen a couple of them already. Actually, we've seen 3 of them. Mackey fakes the handoff. He's going to cut it inside, and he's got a step. He's got more than one step. He's got 6. Isaiah Mackey.
Find a crease, find the end zone.
Well, the big fellas on the right side of that line sure paired the C right there as we take a look at our Beluga Air replay. Man, that's good if we're playing touch, Matt Roy.
I think you and I both could have held hands and walked through that hole together. That was road grading offensive line play by the guys up front. And Isaiah Mackey has the speed. He's been doing this all year to guys in East Central's district. Everyone knows Isaiah Mackey's name, and if you didn't, you do now.
All right, so Team Blue on to try to make it a 7-point game.
Jonathan Leos.
Jonathan Leos from Reagan High School is pretty automatic normally.
Offense.
Splits them right there. So Team Blue sticking it on the ground with all kinds of little trickeration and junk plays, and then go right back to basics between the tackle with their quarterback and have grabbed a 7-0 lead in the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero.
Whataburger supports all of the student athletes participating in today's game. Student athletes who are...
Ball is in your court, Team White, after Team Blue goes right down the field and really, Matt, had no success up until that last drive, and they just went back to good old-fashioned smash-mouth football. Really, most of those plays, with the exception of the end around, was just right between the two tackles, and actually worked quite well for them as they found the end zone for the first time today.
Chuck, we know styles make fights. That's the old boxing adage. I know you love boxing. I do as well. The Team Blue is going to try and run this down Team White's throat. They're going to try and run the ball and then pop it over the top. Team White completely on the other end. They're an air raid offense up at Piper. Caden Keith, one of the best arms in our area, as I've told you. Weapons out the wazoo with Azarian Boss, Dante Singletary, Tyson Dean, Isaiah Champagne, Gabe Simpson. You have so many good weapons, but can you run between the tackles? Can you get the tough yardage, or is it all flair? We're going to see right now from Team White.
Ball checks up nicely for Team Blue. And now we'll see if Team White can make a play, because this is one heck of an electric return by Lee McMuian from Randolph High School.
One of 3 Rohawks on this team.
That's right. Talk about it again. Another school that had an unbelievably great run all year long.
One of my favorite things that we do is putting together all of the stories and packages on all of these guys. We run 20 of them over the last 8 or 10 weeks or so. Lee McMuian was one of the last ones that we did. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that one on air, but Randolph, Judson, Veterans Memorial, that group of guys just have some phenomenal athletes from those 3 schools.
Blue bringing the house, and White throws into the blitz, and what are they going to rule that? Incomplete? Yes, incomplete. But the heat was coming again. Team Blue, it is Katie bar the door almost on every snap, and it's coming from different directions.
We got a quarterback change as well. This is the Voters' Choice Award winner, Hunter Pavlicek from Churchill High School. Churchill, I know, I follow all their social medias. They were trying to get this young man in the ball game for a reason, and he won the right to play. He can sling it too.
He does. He has a really quick release. He looks very comfortable, and obviously, Churchill won some big ball games this year. They knocked off Clark, and this guy, you watch him even in practice. I mean, he certainly doesn't look like he's not holding his own back there. Hunter Pavlicek.
Man, he can run too. He's a bowling ball of a runner. So if his first, second options aren't there, watch him pull this down.
Hunter back to pass, and here comes the heat again.
Got to get it out there, though.
Got to get it out there is right. Little underthrown, but again, heavy duress, this time coming from everywhere.
It's once again the perfect play call, right? You just got to get it to your receiver.
Right.
Perfect play call. You call a screen on 3rd down, 3rd and 6. Everyone's coming at you. They're bringing 6 at you. You have more than enough blockers. You just got to get it to your receiver.
And I would imagine that Team Blue is going to keep bringing that blitz until they get gashed by one of those screen plays.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Salas told me we're going to play an even front, which means we're not going to cover the center. We're going to have 4 down linemen. We're just going to try and stunt it up, and we're going to try and make their lives a little bit difficult back there, and so far it's worked.
That was a line drive punt, and now Blue's going to have a chance to return, and a decent one that it was, bringing it up to the 35. So.
Guess who? Tristan Escobar.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Wonderful. I'm not going to be surprised. We've got a timeout on the field. Change of possession. Team Blues back at it when we come back.
Healing services that accelerate your recovery, amplify your strength, and optimize your performance. Crisis Human Performance, forged by experts, fueled by innovation. To learn more, visit crisishp.com.
Hey everybody, we want to see everybody get up on your feet. It's time for the Bolero T-shirt launch. Those of you lucky enough to catch a T-shirt, you might even find a gift card inside there. When I come your way, get up on your feet. That's what you think of a ball bag? Oh, shoot them up into the grandstand. Throwing them up into the grandstand. Look inside those T-shirts, there might be a gift card. Get closer to the sideline so you can shoot them higher. Come on now, get them up there, make some noise.
Everybody having a lot of fun here inside the Alamodome, is tossing out T-shirts to the assembled gathering. We'll see if Team Blue can toss together another drive as they give everybody a different look here with some junk up receivers on the left side here. And it's a big play. We still don't have a man down. Great job catching that ball out in front is Carson Jones from Tybee High School.
Like we said, his twin, Carson and Cade.
Oh, take that back. Did I get that wrong? That was Lucas Strada, my bad, from Lytle High School, showing the big boys what he's all about.
Gibby Alvarado also back in the game for them.
Blue's going to go back to the ground and get another first down is Chris Geller from Holmes High School.
That's the lone Holmes Husky in this game, and Holmes didn't have the greatest year, bit of a down couple of years for them, but they always have one or two dudes that belong in this game. Chris Geller, one of those guys. He's a 4-year starter, 3-time All-District. I mean, he's a do-everything kind of guy for them.
Gibby back to pass, dumping it out, a little too hot that time.
He might have gotten a little scared off there by Sean Wasley, Sotomayor's linebacker. He came right underneath that pass. Gibby sees him, maybe throws it a little high, trying to make sure. I don't want to be on a Wasley poster here because there was a lot of running room in front of Wasley if he picked that one off.
You know, there was quite a bit of push there, too, from the entire D-line of Team White. Man, I saw a couple of those Blue offensive linemen that got shoved back into the backfield. All right, so second down and 10 yards to go now for Gibby Alvarado and company as they try to make their way downfield again. This time they're going to do the little RPO and let the young man from Holmes have his second carry of the ball game, and that did not go for much thanks to a swarming defense.
It's Lee Thompson.
Team White.
That's Lee Thompson Jr., number 11 from Warren High School. Warren, another one of those schools in that district with Soto and Harlan and Brennan. Hard to make any hay in that district, but through no fault of Lee Thompson Jr.'s own, he performs well on the field.
Yeah, Noah Logston back there too, the standout safety from Brandeis.
Loggy. What a nickname, Loggy.
All right, so here we go on third and long.
Another
Here's
screen.
one screen begets another, but this one bottled up and read beautifully by Team White. That goes next to nowhere, thanks to the play of Freddie Padilla and company. Freddie, of course, went to Churchill. Coming back into the play, including Ignacio Ceja from Harlandale High School in on the play as well. All right, so fourth down and 7 for Team Blue, but they are at midfield. This is an exhibition, and I like what they're doing here, quite frankly.
A lot of people, when you say, oh, we're going to an all-star game, you expect like an NBA all-star game. Not a lot of defense, not a lot of effort. You can tell these guys are trying, though, and as the coaches told me beforehand, defense is always just a little bit, lost a helmet there, Tyson Dean. Defense is always just a little bit ahead of the offense because they only have 5 days to practice, and this week it got even more difficult with the weather. Both teams canceled practice on Thursday, so they lost one of their 5 practices.
Max Bacon, one of our Whataburger player profile games, and we did a Alamo Heights game earlier this year, and you know, it's easy to talk about one guy that they had on their team that got a lot of the headlines, but Matt, geez, this team, they had talent every level on both sides of the ball. Max Bacon, one of those guys that will light you up if the ball comes into his neighborhood.
What a name, too, Max Bacon.
And he should be a Whataburger profile.
Right, exactly. I mean, the fact that he didn't want bacon on that patty melt. Come on.
Team White back at it now, rolling right. Nice time to get the ball out there.
You know why?
And dime.
You know why it was nice timing? Because that's his own receiver, Isaiah Champagne from Caden Keith. They hooked up all year long, and we were reason that the Piper Warriors came within an eyelash of making it to the regional finals. They got knocked off a little early because Flower Bluff beat them in double overtime. So, I mean, Caden Keith, Isaiah Champagne, they know each other very well.
All right, out pursuit again as Blue brings the house. Ball's thrown, but out of bounds.
He's on the run, throws incomplete over by the
Running
sideline.
for his life back there.
Well, she passed when I was in 6th grade, so I just wear it just to remind me of her. You know, she's very special in my heart, so just use this as something to bring me up and just motivate me. Coming from Louisiana, you know, wasn't really a big name, so being able to come out in San Antonio and being a part of this is very special.
Yeah, it's Isaiah Champagne right there. I was one of the ones that was lucky enough to talk to that young man, do his interview at All-Star Game Media Day. He told us that story about his mother who was deceased. I mean, it's just, you never know what motivates these guys as Caden Keefe gets it out to his receiver right there, incomplete. But you never know what motivates these guys. And you never know what someone's been through until you get to talk to him. And Isaiah Champagne, a stand-up young man.
You know, Matt, it seemed like we had that a lot this year, unfortunately. Every week, you know, these programs dealing with some sort of tragedy, some more than others, but, I mean, it doesn't minimize what some of these young dudes and coaches go through, you know, in their personal life to come out and get ready to play a ball game and, you know, somehow traverse their way through some rocky waters. And, yeah, that's a heck of a nice story, and obviously he's come out the other side. We're all proud of him for it. Oh, going to go deep with it, but just not enough time for anybody to clear. An outstanding top-of-the-line defense on the back end. Once again, hot pursuit, chasing the quarterback, and on the back end, can't say enough about what Jamari Smothers has done in this ball game already. That guy is
I don't know if we
a little bit of everything.
I don't know if we can pull that play back up, Chris, back in the booth, but I want you to take a look at 75 Dylan Dew. The Lytle high schooler on the offensive line, 3-year starter, just pancaked a guy on the backside of that line. It was insanely impressive to see.
Low snap, and was it blocked?
I don't know. That might have been off the side of his foot.
Either way, Team Blue's going to have decent field position, but to your point, we're going to take a look back with our Beluga Air replay.
Take a look at the backside of the line. Actually, it was the center. Right there, just get right on top of him. And just take a look at the center. He gets his feet, and he drives through the guy, plants him. My O-line coach used to call that a little bit of bonus bingo when you jump on top of the guy. So,
Dylan Dew from Littling High School, 6 feet, 250 pounds, but played a lot bigger than that. All right, Team Blue's going to go back between the tackles, and those are some dirty yards right there. Is Team White rallying to the football? As they try to make this a one-score game here, Team Blue's defense has just been lights out as Jalen Glover comes into the ball game, and another guy with an elite resume. It's why he's here from Marshall High School.
ooh, what a hit.
Jalen Glover from Marshall.
We have to tell about it. But yeah, you're right. That was talk about stopping somebody in their tracks, but not before he picked up decent yards here.
Guess who? Smithson Valley's own Diego Davila laying the wood again on Jalen Glover. We were talking in the break, Chuck. It's one of those things where it's like we keep saying the same names over and over. It's because their preparation and their talent puts them in the correct spots to where we have to say the name. We get to say the name. I don't even think we have to. We get to say these guys' names because they're so phenomenal at what they do.
Oh, speaking of phenomenal, they're going right back to their bread and butter is Team Blue with Isaiah Mackey. Just get him the ball, let him probe for maybe a second, but boy, has he been really efficient at finding a seam and then getting the ball up the field, and another first down for Team Blue. That's an HEB first down, I might add. Been quite a few of them here the last few drives for Team Blue.
It's funny, when I moved to San Antonio, HEB wasn't a thing in the Midwest, and now I have my HEB right by my house. It's mine. It's not your HEB, it's my HEB. Everyone has theirs.
Glover, one more time on the carry.
Well, we're starting to see this offense really get a rhythm up front. Some of these big boys that are blocking for Team Blue.
Eddie Salas
doing a good job.
Eddie Salas thought he had the advantage up front, and we're seeing why he thought that way. His offensive line, might as well just call him some road graders up there.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler Hurst from Reagan and Company doing a really nice job. It begs the question, Matt, you're seeing two diametrically opposed offenses here. You're an old offensive lineman. What would you rather play in, a team that plays smash mouth or one that likes to chuck and duck?
I mean, every offensive lineman will tell you, big play right there, big play potential. Every offensive lineman will tell you they want to run the ball. It's easier in a game like this to install one of those kinds of running offenses, as we highlight Jermaine Tibbs, who got that deflection on that. It's easier to install a running offense because you, especially in the zone blocking scheme, because all guys just have to step one way. You take who's in your zone. On an offense like Nick Rogers installs at Piper, an air raid kind of style, it's harder to get everyone on the same page on some of those timing routes with the receivers. You want to throw it all over the place. You don't know what someone breaks their route off at 15. You don't know if they break their route off at 13 usually. It's just more difficult. So as an offensive lineman, you always want to run the ball.
Mackey dropping back, and it's going to be a middle screen. And by middle, we mean middle of the field. Well done, well executed by Team Blue, but they are stopped short of the first down.
Big number 88.
Stein from Central Catholic. You know, he was one of those guys that you looked at practice this week. It's, man, who's this big hulking dude?
It's my favorite mascot that we have, too, the buttons. Central Catholic buttons. Whoever made that up, hats off to you.
Fourth down, Team Blue going for it, up 7. And they're going to do a little wildcat, and it's not going to happen.
What a stop. More bonus bingo.
I'll tell you what. Oh, there is some playing going on, and this game means a little something. You can tell, and it's going to mean a little more the way this thing is going. Outstanding job by Team White coming in to make the play. Nick Hall from Holy Cross.
No, Cole Redding.
Was it 9? I'm sorry.
Cole Redding making that play, the New Braunfels safety. I asked Coach Rogers before the game. He's not usually a defensive guy, but this week he wanted to have a little bit more fun, be a little bit more hands-off on the offense. So he spent a lot of time on defense, and I was like, who's impressing you? Cole Redding, he could not speak enough about.
Wow. Nice little trap block right there, and sizable gain for Team White as they pick up a first down.
I love how hard the offensive line is playing right now on both sides of the ball. That right there by number 72, Eric Castillo from O'Connor High School. He is getting after it. And when we did the interviews back on October 20th, he was so excited to play in this game because it's another time for him to suit up, play alongside some of these dudes, and they are playing hard up front.
Rayshawn Conway from YMLA. Little school playing up for sure. Really looking like he certainly belongs here and earned his spot on this team with that last run. But
Conway's older brother played in this game last year.
Not able to make the connection there on first down. Ball coming out hot.
See, that's what I mean. You don't know the timing. I'm sure in Piper they teach them run through that ball. Caden Keith is trying to anticipate, throw it in front of him, but instead he slows down the route, and instead of that ball being right on his chest, that ball's a little bit out in front of him. That's not Caden's fault or the receiver's fault. That's just not having those reps together.
The old time on task, eh? Tell you what, there is some action going on between the whistles, but this game is starting to heat up in terms of physicality, and I'm here for it.
I love it. I love nice physical football. You know me, I'm a 30-year-old, but I'm an old school heart. All right, I want to put leather helmets back on these guys sometimes because that's the kind of football I love. Let's run it up the gut and see who can stop somebody, and then you know what? We'll pop it over the top a little bit later.
That's the beauty of this game in a lot of ways, Matt, is yeah, there's a lot of guys here that have offers, but there are also a lot of college scouts that are here looking to fill in the rest of their roster, and you can make a name for yourself here today, and that's wide open. Quick strike by Team White. They finally get something in the middle of the field. Ball on time, and what a great play to finish off the end of that run is A. Voss from Southwest High School.
Azarian Voss and Tyson Dean, two guys that basically put the team on their back down at Southwest High School and took them to an undefeated season. Azarian Voss, one of the fastest, most agile, biggest playmakers in our entire area. When he got onto Team White, I said, look out. Caden Keith to Azarian Voss is going to be a problem, and we see why.
Keith talking about, he's got 3 guys on this team that run 4 threes. find those guys.
Yeah, get it
bubble
in their hands.
screen's going to turn it upfield and tie this ball game up. Assuming we get the extra point, but it coming right back with a little bubble screen, and a nice job getting it upfield is Nicholas Henry from Seguin High School.
That's someone I haven't even been able to mention yet, is Seguin High School's Nicholas Henry. And look how fast he is. That's what I'm saying. The skill guys on Team White are out of this world. You go from Azarian Voss to Tyson Dean to Isaiah Champagne, and then Nick Henry putting the dagger into Team Blue.
And apparently Nick Henry was the guy that threw a block outside that helped spring the last play. So a willing participant in terms of blocking. Extra point is indeed good, and we have found ourselves indeed in a typical San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star game, tete-a-tete. We're tied at 7 late in the second quarter. And look at this guy. Once he gets those knees going, forget about it.
Forget about it. Now we're starting to see that timing, though. Caden Keith, here's the thing. There's a little bit of gamesmanship going on the field right now, too. Coach Rogers over on Team White at Piper High School, he has some Smithson Valley guys on his team. Do you want to give, all that verbiage away? So they changed up their verbiage as well. Caden Keith, Isaiah Champagne had to learn new verbiage this week, even though it's their same offense. They knew the concepts, but new verbiage to make sure that, we're already thinking about 2025. So it's going to take a little bit for everybody to kind of get things going. Let's run some plays. Let's see who is going to show up in this game. And now we're seeing this offense on full display.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me, right? Because you would think every advantage for Team White in this ball game, because you've got quarterback, head coach, and OC all on the same page, but it's a learning curve for them too because of what you just said. I mean, I find that fascinating that they're still playing dodgeball because they don't want any Smithson Valley kids or any of their other rivals going back to their head coaches and go, hey, here's what they're doing over there.
Exactly. I mean, it's always just a little bit of gamesmanship.
Sure.
You also have a new play caller right now for Team White. Nick Rogers usually calls the plays for this team, but right now it's his offensive coordinator, Adam Arteaga, who is calling the plays for them. It's one of Nick Rogers' best friends who is calling the plays, and it's a guy that Nick Rogers trusts a lot. It's a guy that is going to be a head coach probably in our area very soon, and it's something that these coaches are trying to do as well. What can my staff do that maybe I can trust them a little bit more next year? How can I help my staff, help my friends on my staff go on and be head coaches somewhere else? So we're seeing that happen in this game as well, because Nick Rogers giving up the play calling duties and taking a little bit of a backseat to his offensive coordinator in this game.
Made the tackle on the special teams play, right? Double D.
I got one guess.
Man, that kid is
all over the place,
else. Dude. I mean, the energy level is infectious.
There's a reason they won the state championship, right?
There are many reasons. Yes, he's definitely one of them.
Here's Gibby.
Design draw, and Gibby is buried.
Hey,
the likes of
guess who made the tackle?
Double D from Smithson V.
Early candidate for player of the game, I think, so far in this one. Diego Davila is incredible.
It's just the mentality of being a Smithson Valley guy for me, Matt. I mean, it's just, it's a theme that repeats itself year after year, decade after decade. I mean, they've had guys playing, they've got 2 guys right now, currently starters in the NFL, and they're just all called Smithson Valley guys.
Right.
Trayvon Merrick, not the exception to that, in that he was an all-world everything, right? But, a guy like Jack Gibbons, nobody said he would play D1 football.
Andrew
Sendejo. I mean, he was happy just going to Rice on a scholarship so he could be an engineer. You could go right down the list, but there's something about these guys that Larry Hill finds, teaches, and then turns them into men, and then they take those life stories with them the rest of their careers in football and then beyond that as well.
Well, and when you go on a run, like a state championship run like they just did, you have guys like Cade Spradling, who was supposed to play in this game. He didn't end up playing this game because he got called up to the All-American game. Now has a decision to make, whether it's Army or whether it's Air Force, I think, or UTSA. You have guys like Diego Davila, who they're just dudes. They're just football players. They come, they bring their lunch pail, they're going to come out and play football. He's a preferred walk-on at Stephen F. Austin. I would think if you're Stephen F. Austin coaches, you are you just want him on campus right now.
He's going to make everybody better, not only on his defense, but the whole room. A little trickeration from Team Blue as they do the okey doke the other way. Picked up a few yards there on second down. Now we'll see how they pair it here on third down as we wind down the rest of the first half. Under a minute to go.
Timeout by Team White. See, now Nick Rogers and that staff, they're starting to think, we're cooking. We're cooking. Maybe we can get this ball back. Maybe we can score before the half, because it's Team White that gets the ball at the half, I believe, coming out of halftime after they deferred. So now we're looking. Can we get a stop here if you're Team White? You get the ball back with 45 seconds left or so. You got one more timeout. So if they run the ball, timeout, punt, 45 seconds left for one of the most prolific offenses in our area. I like that. I like those odds.
Yeah, you're trying to steal a possession right here, obviously, right? Because Team White gets the ball first. They deferred to start the ball game. And, in a 7-7 ball game, obviously, possessions are going to mean everything into the second half of this football game. But Eddie Salas, he's been in these grit games before. He knows what it's all about. He's doing everything he can to make sure that they can at least extend this drive enough to run out the clock. So a huge play on third down in that regard.
So what would you do here, Chuck? Run it?
Quarterback keeper?
Might
And
not
avoid
have
the rush. And it's just not going to happen because Team White's staying at home and all kinds of backside help there to bring down the elusive Gibby Alvarado. Patrick Arriaga from Alamo Heights called his name a slew in that ball game we did earlier this year.
Like we said, though, you take your last timeout. 51 seconds left. You punt. You maybe get the ball back. 46 seconds left. They're starting to bring that. Team White's got the momentum now. You're starting to feel a little bit. Nick Rogers is getting in his little bag of tricks. Defensive coordinator calling a few blitzes. You guys saw that pressure right up the middle, forcing Gibby out to his right side so Arriaga could clean it up. You're starting to see Team White feeling their oats a little bit, sensing that Team Blue is a little bit wounded. It's going in for the kill shot. Try and make this a 2-for-1 situation. Score before the half, score coming out of the half. It can quickly become 21-7.
Well, we've had some near misses, as they say, when it comes to getting these punts off. There have been some close ones in terms of teams trying to block these punts, but so far, close but no cigar. We'll see how Team White wants to pressure this one, if they do indeed want to do it that way, or try to set up a return.
They're bringing the pressure. You can see only one guy back for the punt return this time. They're usually putting two back there. 44. I was off by a second, but got the ball back. 44 seconds now. You got Jack Height, who is the Clark kicker, who is on this Team White squad. He has a good leg. I think about 20-25 yard line is where you need to try and get to attempt a field goal. But I guarantee you, Nick Rogers is going into his huddle right now, and he's saying, "We're not kicking a field goal. Go score a touchdown. You got the weapons. You got the offense. See if you can put it in the end zone."
Well, Team White, I don't think they have any timeouts left, so whatever they're going to do, they're going to have to work these sidelines as best they can.
Let's do it.
In the front, and yep, he just unloads that one because
Kevon
he
Carter
had his hands full, that's right, with Kevon Carter from Wagner High School.
There's just a couple of guys who seem to be in on every play. Every single play, it's Kevon Carter. It's Double D from SV. It's these guys who put themselves in great position to make plays.
Yeah, you could say it's luck, right? But at some point,
we both know there's no luck.
That's right. As Kenny Powers once said, luck is the crutch of the talentless.
Exactly.
It still stands up.
In my football career, I had a lot of luck because I had no talent. So.
Oh, don't be sandbagging, big fella. You look like you still got some eligibility.
Hey, that JUCO rule. Give me 2 more years.
Right? Caden Key throwing a dart out of bounds, picks up the first down, and going to move the sticks for his squad with 30 seconds left to go here in the first half. There's your guy.
Isaiah Champagne, He's going to make a coach very, very, very happy next year. He's a talented young receiver, and he was just putting the great offense. Actually, he's staying in. He's going to be Clint Kilos next year at UIW.
Yeah, Clint really likes him. Oh, look at this. Caden Keith going to get outside and get out of bounds, and in the process is going to be very close to another first down.
We said it in the open, 544 yards rushing. I would love, just selfishly, I would love for him to go to UIW too. I want to keep seeing this kid play football.
You got some dudes at UIW too, especially outside, so they know how to spot them there as well. I mean, they've done as good a job as anybody in the area. Talk about the coaching change there, but Coach Killo had to replace 60-something guys after GJ went to Texas State. Didn't miss a beat.
It might have been a false start in this
screen, and they got it blocked up. How far will it go? Maybe to the house? No.
You got to get up there.
Better hurry because the clock is winding.
Caden's trying to call a timeout. They don't have any timeouts. You got to get up. Luckily, the clock stops. Got to spike it. 9. Oof. See, I'm all for Noah Logsdon. I'm all for Noah Logsdon seeking contact and trying to get into the end zone. But you got to be situationally aware right there, too. Is it worth the 5 more yards?
Yeah, but so here's the deal, right? You had a week worth of practice, and you can imagine all the scenarios, 2-minute offenses, and everything that went on this week. Obviously, it's hard to have max continuity when you've got literally 50-something guys that are trying to do things for the first time. And what a surprise you're going forward
what
here
did I
on
tell
4th
you?
down in a tie ball game.
Nick Rogers ain't taking field goals.
So be it.
Timeout. Team B, first start, timeout for the first half. 30 seconds.
I mean, Noah Logsdon trying to show it. He's got a whole squad here right below our broadcast booth. 22, wearing number 22, orange shirts from Brandeis High School. He's got a whole squad. They got a styrofoam cutout of his face as well. So I understand he's trying to put on for his school. He's trying to put on for his team. He's trying to get into the end zone. You got to get out of bounds there. Save yourself 15 seconds or so. Then you have 4 shots at the end zone. Instead of 4 shots, you basically got 1.
I'm curious to see what Team White, Matt, is going to do right here, because I'm not so sure that Keith didn't get nicked on that last play. He's got his helmet off and taking a little drink of water. Maybe just needed to catch his breath, but
well,
this is a huge play in the game, obviously.
He ran down quickly, and he didn't know that they didn't have any timeouts. You saw him run by the ref, try and call one. He didn't know, so he had to sprint down there. He's probably just a little tired. But I can see a slant coming from the right side over here.
Last play of the first half. Caden Keith rolling to his right. He's got a guy in the back of the end zone. It is broken up. A little bit too much air. And Team Blue knocks it away, and they're going to keep this game tied up at the half.
What a play by the DB right there, number 28. Making the play of the game thus far, keeping this one tied up. That's Colin Ramzimski from Poth High School.
How about that? Nick Rogers going for the jugular here to run the first half out, and I love it. We are tied at 7. It's been an amazing first 2 quarters from the Alamodome. Team White, Team Blue, all square. We're going to be coming back. It's halftime at the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero.
Absenteeism, ongoing after-school program addresses the economic divide in our community between kids who can afford to play sports and kids who can't. We're working to give kids equal access to sports regardless of their circumstances.
Searching for a great price on a car, truck, or RV?
Don't look any further than Insera.com.
Mobile, laptop, or desktop,
Hey, be sure to start 2025 with fuel savings at Valero. It's 25% off per gallon on your first fill up with the Valero Pay Plus app. Download Valero Pay Plus today for fast, easy fueling and instant savings. Terms and conditions apply. Hey fans, from the coin toss to the final snap, hydrate your game with Powerade. Powerade by Unique Ion 4 Advanced Electrolyte System. Powerade helps replace electrolyte lost when you sweat. Powerade, everything a sports drink should be. Powerade, more power for you.
We had a great first half of so far, and we're going to keep the fun going. So we are
Welcome to the Valero Halftime Show.
Every week, we're happy at Fox San Antonio and News 4 to bring you the Beyond the Game segments. It's so great to illuminate what some of these young people are doing in our community, and let's take a look at some new ones here tonight.
San Antonio middle and high school athletes are doing great things for our community. San Antonio Sports and Valero are shining a light on teams and individuals who model key values through their actions. More than 120 teams submitted stories this fall. Let's look at 4 who made a special impact in their communities. Connolly Middle School's volleyball team helped Operation Gratitude, which sends care packages to servicemen and women stationed overseas during the holidays. The team made bears, lanyards, and signed cards thanking them for their service. Since September, members of the Memorial High School football team have spent every Monday at different elementary schools reading to classes in both English and Spanish. The team has read more than 75 hours helping young students see the importance of reading and inspiring the next generation. O'Connor High School's girls basketball team spent a day volunteering at the Center for Refugee Services. They help pack food, fold clothes, and organize hygiene products for legally resettled refugees fleeing from countries torn by violence and war. Members of the Southwest girls basketball team collaborated with Habitat for Humanity to cut and install siding on a house for a family in need to call home. These athletes and teams demonstrated the Beyond the Game values of integrity, respect, teamwork, excellence, and community service. San Antonio Sports and Valero salute high school and middle school coaches who inspire their athletes to serve others. Parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams and individuals that go beyond the game. Visit sanantoniosports.org.
Thank you, Don Harris. We're listening to the smooth sounds of the award-winning Taft High School Band that just wrapped up playing the YMCA version from the Village People.
I was trying to dance up here. It wasn't going very well.
And I was trying to think, isn't it cool that we're doing YMCA when we have the school YMLA represented here today?
See, there you go.
Taft, one of the best performing bands we saw all year on TNL. Let's listen in.
You're watching the Valero Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the Valero Halftime Show. We are all even Stevens, 7-7 between the blue and white here at the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero. And Matt, we've reached the portion of the broadcast where we're going to take a look at some of these amazing first half highlights brought to you by the Gomez Law Firm. And it was all defense in that first quarter. Both teams coming up with big plays, but none bigger than Tristan Escobar from Brennan, who made a big play for his team and then shows everybody on the planet that he punts the ball left-footed. And then finally the offenses got going. First with the blue team and Mr. Mackey from East Central doing the honors.
Good dancer, too.
Yeah, I gave the blue team a 7-0 lead.
There you go. Blue team gets a 7-0 lead, but you can't hold the white team down forever. Caden Keith, he's going to drop back, get this one to Azarian Voss, one of the biggest, best athletes in the entire area. He runs a 4.3, and he looked it right there. Went and showed that HEB sign, who's Voss, too. Following play, I think this was the very next play. It's going to be Nick Henry out of Seguin High School from Caden Keith. Ties this ball game up. Look at the blocking from his big offensive lineman. Finds his way into the end zone. Not going to be enough to tackle that man. Tie ball game right after that one, Chuck.
Yeah, that was what we call payback because that young man was doing the blocking on the big play previous. All right, that's your Gomez Law Firm first half highlights. 7-7 when we return to the Alamodome.
You're watching the Valero Halftime Show.
There have been so many great players that have played in this San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game over the years, and we could probably spend an hour just the Smithson Valley guys alone that have dotted these rosters. Trayvon Merrick, starter for the Las Vegas Raiders. Jack Gibbons, same thing with the Tennessee Titans. And back in 2006, Andrew Sendejo, a guy who played 12 years in the NFL when nobody ever thought that would be possible for a guy his size, had a great career, and I found it super fascinating what he actually remembered, Matt, from his days back then.
It was a good experience. I just had an overall, great time throughout the whole process of the All-Star game. It's funny. The one thing I actually remember the most was being able to spat my cleats. So, like you do the tape around your cleats. So at Smithson Valley, we had very strict dress code, as you can imagine, with Coach Hill and his staff, very old school. So we were never allowed to spat our cleats, and we always thought it was the coolest look. spat my cleats and kind of go out there with some swag that I was never allowed to have at my time at Smithson Valley.
I think he's saying that Coach Hill runs a very tight ship, Matt, and I think, you know, to where we've gone with this Smithson Valley program over the years, always knocking on the door, obviously won a state title, Larry Hill's first, and to hear Andrew Zendejo talk about what it meant for him to see his former coach win, I thought that just gave me chills, and we'll let you listen into that too.
I've always said that I would have never made it as far as I did in the NFL had I not had that foundation of football from Coach Hill and the staff there at Smithson Valley. And I think the most important lesson that you kind of take away is you kind of learn how to play ball the right way. You learn all the fundamentals and really more of the mental game too. So there's just all these takeaways that really established my foundation as a football player that I was able to kind of take into the next level.
Yeah, and Coach Hill, all he does is keep winning. They let him coach one of the teams in the big boy game, and of course his team came out on top there too.
That's all he does is win.
Indeed he does. Well, we'll see who wins this game because we've got a whole second half of football coming your way next here on the CWSA.
Taco Cabana meal deals are here. Only $4.99 each. Like the new Monster Breakfast Burrito or the new 7-layer burrito. Just 2 of the many meal deals. Only at Taco Cabana. You have great taste. Chicken, steak, carne asada, and new Cabana salad bowl. Cabana bowls made fresh just for you. Only at Taco Cabana.
And Valero opening up tomorrow with builds on the actions of retake today. That's why right now, we're proud to start All-Star Game. Frost Bank, proud sponsor of the San Antonio All-Star High School football game. Frost believes that you don't have to bank with us to matter to it. Bankers available 24/7 to answer your financial questions. Frost Bank.
I was not hearing her program when she was talking. So.
Can you hear it?
Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Now we got it.
You're watching the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by Valero.
Yeah, what a ball game we've had so far. 7-7, blue and white. We're still in the midst of the Valero halftime show. Creeping up here on the second half, but we got a special guest, my friend Matt. Joining us now is the architect of it all, Jenny Carnes, the CEO of San Antonio Sports. And Jenny, thank you for all you do. I mean, I know this is a labor of love, but what did you think of the first half?
Well, hey guys, Happy New Year. I can't think of a better way to start the new year than celebrating these top seniors in the area for the 2025 San Antonio High School All-Star Sports football game presented by Valero. I thought it was an excellent first half. Defensive battle. I thought White was going to go ahead with that last touchdown, just didn't pull it down in the end zone, but a great first half.
Jenny, this is a different vantage point. Usually I'm interviewing you down on the sideline, but now we're doing it like this. Either way, San Antonio Sports has a lot going on. I know this is probably the busiest year you could have with the Final Four coming up. So tell me a little bit about the work and the labor of love going into the men's Final Four coming up in April.
Well, Matt, you hit it. We're coming off our 40th anniversary year in 2024, and this year will no doubt be our biggest year in organization's history. We're 84 days out from tip-off for our 5th NCAA Men's Final Four. We've got a big staff that has been preparing for a couple of years. We put this bid in 2017, and that we're 84 days out. It's hard to believe, but we are ready. The city's primed. We can't wait. I know we're celebrating football tonight, but it is college basketball season right now, and that leads us into what we're going to start doing as we celebrate the top seniors in the area in high school basketball.
Yeah, we've got the selection. I think selection is on Tuesday. It's weird that we're getting done with one All-Star game, going right into another. But Chuck, the
absolutely. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, we got the marathon too.
There's
Jenny,
more. Again,
tell us about that.
I said it's our biggest year in history. We just announced and launched a brand new marathon that will take the place of the Rock and Roll Running Series. So same weekend, that first weekend in December. The San Antonio Marathon will be our opportunity to own and showcase the best of San Antonio and keep it right here locally while attracting people from all over the nation, all over the world. So we're really excited about what's coming up this year.
Yeah, as you should be, Jenny. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you as always. Looking forward to all those great athletes coming in for the marathon, but I know Matt and I will be watching for sure.
I expect y'all to be running with me.
Absolutely not. I will not be doing that.
Oh, that's a whole lifetime ago,
I'll
Jenny.
cheer you on, Jenny.
Jenny, we'll see you at the end of the game. Thank you for
Yes,
your time.
sir. Thank you, guys.
All right, y'all, guess what? Closing in on that second half that we talked so much about. First half was really good. What will we have in store for the second? Let us all find out right after the break. It's the Taco Cabana kickoff in the second half of the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero, and we're going to stay right here. Why not?
We're just going to turn around, call the rest of the game here, Chuck.
Oh, these guys are ready to go. I'm over here chatting with you and Jenny Carnes, and here we go.
Like I said, I could talk to Jenny all day. Like, the woman that never sleeps, honestly. She is one of the busiest people that could ever exist in the city of San Antonio.
Yeah, and I mean, really, you think about it, Matt, if not her, who?
Yeah,
right? I
right.
mean, responsible for so many big things San Antonio sports is. It's going on around town, and you like sports, and you want there to be a heavy sports presence in San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio sports, obviously, right up at the top of making good things happen for our area. Now we'll see if Team White can make something good happen for their special teams right here. We got a whole half of football to play and a lot to be decided as we find ourselves square after 2 frames.
I want there to be 4 more halves of football. Like, I don't want there to just be one half for this high school football season, Chuck.
Kind of makes me sad too when you put it that way, right? I mean, it is. It's a culmination of a great season. And again, man, I know we talked about this at the onset, but I think what surprises me, or I think what the difference is between our game and the Navy All-American game, is that it doesn't look like anybody here is playing for self-preservation.
I don't think that a lot of the guys in the All-American game are either. The difference to me of the 2 games, and you see the Team White walking over the America's Navy symbol on the field. The difference between the 2 games is that most of the guys in the All-American Bowl, they know that they're going to go play in the future. They know they're going to play next year. The guys on this field, this is, for a lot of them, the last time they're going to put pads on. And they're playing like it. What a dance move.
It's not bad, Mr. Zuniga. Not bad at all.
Ocean Zuniga, another man from Clemens High School.
Yep, called his name a lot this year, right?
When they played on TNL against Alamo Heights, I feel like I was listening to you and Don while I was down on the sidelines, and it was just every other play, Ocean Zuniga, Ocean Zuniga, Ocean Zuniga. We see why. He's a good football player.
Yeah, Kevin Hernandez back in at quarterback, and shout out to Dakota Perkins, too, for making that play and blowing that last play up.
Oh, send
Looking
it.
to go deep, but decides to keep it on the ground instead, and Kevin Hernandez taking a licking, but keeping on ticking.
Oh,
There's a
man.
lot of guys in on that shot.
He had a man wide open streaking down the field. Kevin Hernandez, just send that one down the sideline. Let your man go get it. I think it was Lee McMuian. Man, he was wide open. That's the difference, though, in the 2 quarterbacks. You call that play as the offensive play caller from Piper, which isn't a run and gun style. It's an air raid. You call that for a guy like Caden Keith, who knows that he can get that ball out there. Kevin Hernandez, not as good of a thrower, but
Got some blocking here on this end around, and look who's got it.
21. That's 2.
Oh, and 2 punts. Okay, let's see what happened. He got tripped up by his own guy, and
That
ball
is a
was
fumble.
coming out.
Guess who that is? Mr. Tristan Escobar with another fumble recovery, his second of the ball game. Dude is all over the field, Chuck.
Well, we've seen a lot of elite defensive plays so far in this football game, and I'll tell you what, between Double D and Tristan Escobar, they just put those guys on redundancy factor.
Man, this is just such a good ball game. So many great players all over the field. But you do see, even in games like this, the cream rises to the top. There's some of those guys that they play at a different level. They play at a different pace. They play at a different speed. And you see that today.
Yeah, and that time he gets rewarded. You know, obviously he didn't strip the ball, but he just sees stuff happening as Blue gets it out quick here on the left side, and great open field tackle there by number 43, Double D from SV.
Why don't we just say, every tackle for Team Blue is Tristan Escobar. Every tackle for the other team, for the white team, is Diego Davila. And let's just call it that. See, that's how it seems, right?
I mean, is it any wonder that a guy like that ends up winning a state championship, right? And there are other guys like him that have the same kind of motor on the same defense.
Yep.
Mackey's going to fake the run, and again, Davila getting mass penetration back there to at least slow him down for a smidge so his buddy could arrive.
Well, and you said, and someone might look at that play and say, oh, he missed the tackle. But what he did was he forced Isaiah Mackey back inside, because that's where his help is. You got guys rallying to the football, and because they're rallying to the football, because Diego pushed him back inside, that's why they're able to make that tackle and force a fourth down.
And it's a different level speed, too, when you're talking about Diego Davila. That dude has got some jets and some twitch. Mackey dropping back, wants to go deep. Going for a home run ball here, and it is broken up at the last conceivable second. Not a bad ball at all, not bad defense at all, but equal to the task right there for Team White is Jerron Hall from Brandeis High School. And boy, what a season this guy had. I thought one of the more underrated safeties in all of San Antonio.
I wonder what happened there on that play. Usually you don't want two receivers in the same area. So I wonder if there was a little bit of a miscommunication on the routes there, because you see the second receiver, I believe it was number 14, Aiden Rich from Pleasanton High School. I don't think that was he was supposed to be in that area. I think he had more of a corner, but when he saw the ball in the air, he tries to go to where the ball is. But what happened is that brings another defender over, makes the catch that much harder. So see what Nick Rogers and his offense can do now. Caden Keith back in the ball game.
Yeah, that was a fourth down play on that home run ball, and the ball's out again, and Blue, are they going to whistle him dead?
Tristan Escobar with the ball again.
They're not going to count this one, but that was awfully close to being another ball on the ground.
I think we missed that call. I think that was a fumble.
Let's take a look. I thought so too, but we're not.
That's 100% a fumble.
No, Tristan Escobar just missed his hat trick by that much.
Maybe they called it down with Tyson Dean.
It's possible.
That was I don't know how that's not Blue football, but Team White getting a little lucky there. Send it.
Ball's away, and it is caught. And now, will he score? The answer is yes. What a reception by Tyson Dean, the speedster from Southwest High School. That was a dime too, Matt Roy.
They had a man on the last drive, had Kevin Hernandez in there, who is not as great of a thrower as Caden Keith. Guess what? They get a man behind the same corner, and this time, Caden Keith puts it on him. Tyson Dean got lucky that they didn't call it a fumble or that he recovered it on the play before. Give him another chance. He's going to make you pay.
I'm going to tell you, I was watching 90 Jaden Simmons from Team Blue from John Jay High School. Matt, you would have loved this. I mean, he beat two guys and was the guy that was putting the pressure on the quarterback on that play. Just missed it by a half second.
Got ourselves a ball game here, Chuck.
Indeed we do, and some offensive fireworks after defensive fireworks, just like the first quarter. Right now, it is White on top of Blue, 14-7. Blue, the ball is in your court.
Today's broadcast of the 2025 San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game is presented by Valero and sponsored by Whataburger, H-E-B, Frost, Methodist Healthcare, and Sierra Auto Group, Taco Cabana, Thomas J. Henry, Via, Outdoors, The Gomez Law Firm, Beluga Air, Centro Med, Enroll SA, Living Way Church, Christus Children's, San Antonio Zoo, Air and Plumbing Today, the Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, IBEW Local 60, and ACNowSA.com.
Tyson Dean, the all-star from Southwest. He's going to Wyoming. He said he didn't mind the cold this week because he's fast and it heats him right up. So we saw it on the corner. He breaks that one off, and he has game-breaking speed. And that's one thing Caden Keith really liked about this team is the weapons, the toys that he has on the outside. We'll show you the touchdown here in a second after the kickoff. Goes back for a touchback. What a ball game we have here, Chuck. And check this play out. So I love being a little football nerd. First of all, 90 gets through two guys phenomenally. Caden Keith barely gets that off, but just look at the placement of that ball. And Tyson Dean having the football intelligence, knowing that he's going to get hit as soon as he catches that ball, stiff arms him 15 yards into the end zone. Tyson Dean right now making a case for player of the game.
So is he one of those dudes that runs a 4.3?
Yeah. It was, I think they were talking about Azarian Voss, Tyson Dean, and Julian, I was going to say Julian Champagne, and Isaiah Champagne. I got Spurs on the brain still. But Isaiah Champagne, those are some fast weapons on the outside. Now we're going to see how Isaiah Mackey responds.
All right, he's going to call his own number here and pick up pretty good yardage and take on a couple of those white defenders and turns it upfield as now the Blues got to counter and try to get back in this football game. Down a score with about 8 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
And it's going to be a test, right? We're going to see what the coaches from Harlan and Eddie Salas' staff can dial up here. They don't want to be in a shootout. That's not their game plan. They want to run, pop it over the top, dink and dunk with the screens. We're going to see if they can, what their quick strike ability is.
Well, they go with a heavy wide receiver look there, and again, where they've run the football between the tackles, they've enjoyed a lot of success, and that's just good old-fashioned smash-mouth football coming from not a very big guy, Adrian McDade, but we know that there's a lot of meat and a lot of muscle packed into that 5'6", 165-pound frame.
And check out the game-breaking speed of him, too. He is fast. Might be hurt now, though. Oh, that didn't look good either.
Officials timeout for injury.
We got a timeout on the field with Adrian McDade, and we'll hope for the best there. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Well, Matt, it's really hard to say exactly what McDade heard on that play, but all I can say is I think we're all thankful that he got up, because Eddie Salas was over there with his player. Could have heard a pin drop in this place, so
Well, Chuck,
thankful that he was able to at least make it to the sideline.
last thing you want to see in a game like this, in any game, but especially a game like this, is a bad injury, let alone any injury. So it's good that he walked off the field.
Well said. All right, second down. Blues got to go back to work. They're going to do a middle screen again, and they're going to pick up another first down. They're allowing the jailbreak from Team White, and they're finally connecting on those screens that we talked about earlier that they weren't able to hit on.
Exactly, and if they can get some of those screens going in the right direction, you want to make those safeties and the corners play up a little bit, and then you're going to get the big plays over the top, but you're going to see if Isaiah Mackey can actually complete those.
Well, Team Blue swings it out here quick, and you want to run a play like that, you got to get some help from your guys outside blocking in order to spring that play. They pick up a yard, but not much, as we take a look at Caleb Gale, one of our Whataburger profile players.
These guys love the patty melt.
I don't think I've ever had one of those there. They good? Oh, you've never had one either?
That's not my go-to. No, it's good.
I'm the Max Bacon guy.
There you go. He had a patty melt too. That was his favorite. What's your go-to meal over at Whataburger, Chuck?
With the bacon. That's
bacon
that's
Whataburger?
a given, for sure. And the fries, of course. Look out. Isaiah Mackey on the run. Whoa, he does a good job of eluding pressure. And then not only that, gets out of the backfield and picks up the sticks. Well done for an HEB first down.
I got to tell you, this is probably going to not surprise you, but it's a triple Whataburger for me.
You know, dude, as we watch this play unfold, Mackey rolling out to his right, looking downfield. Now he's going to decide to take it and run with it again, picking up decent yards. But, you know, when I was walking in today, the Navy All-Americans were coming out, and I'm always mystified at the size of some of these guys. I mean, there's some NFL bodies in that game. And I kept thinking to myself, yeah, these guys are big, but none of them are as big as Matt Roy.
You know,
so for that, I was, you know, I found myself very fortunate.
When I'm interviewing the high schoolers after the game and they're looking me in the eye, I'm a little scared. All right, they're growing big these days. I don't know what everyone's getting fed in high school nowadays, but it's not what I was eating.
Well, whatever those guys are eating right there on that particular run, give me some of, because that was a heck of a run right there by Jalen Glover from Marshall High School. That guy obviously carrying the load all year from Marshall. Well-earned trip to the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game, and looks like he might be pretty good at rugby too, the way he ran that football.
Well, Chuck, you and I are on the selection committee, and we saw Jalen Glover's name up on the board, and we knew he had to be part of this game. Marshall didn't have the greatest year football-wise, but through no fault of his, he's a fantastic player.
Well, Mackey decides he's going to check it out late to the right side, and why not get it to 20? With the way he's running the football, especially with those grit yards at the end.
Jalen Glover, man, he's going to run you over. He's going to be speedy inside, in between the tackles, but he's going to make some plays, and I don't think any of us are surprised that he's making these plays either, Chuck.
Well, at that time, Team White got a really good push, and 28 from Team Blue. I'm sorry, Team White. Cross-eyed and colorblind here on that one. Caleb Gale from Piper High School making his presence felt. Padilla also getting a really nice push there, and others.
Freddie Padilla, that whole team went through so much this year over at Churchill High School. One of their players almost died. We told that story on News 4 and on Fox SA. And Freddie Padilla really led that team through a lot of controversy I think Jalen Glover just picked up that first down.
Indeed he did. Just finding enough of a crease to be able to lunge forward, and, you know, always the mark of a great back, guy that falls forward. As you take a look at the 28-6A offensive MVP, almost 3,000 career rushing yards and 26 TDs. What a great way for that young man to finish up his high school career.
What always amazes me, Chuck, is how even in a game like this, the teams take on the personality of the head coaches. You can't watch this game knowing Eddie Salas and tell me this is not an Eddie Salas coached football team.
Mackey going to try to get outside. Oh, he got a nice block, and did he get in?
Nope.
I'm sorry, I thought
he needed to cut inside a little bit earlier, and he would have gotten there.
Dude, I was watching Tyler Hirsch from Reagan High School just own his guy, and I got caught taking my eye off the ball and just watching 77 on this one.
Yeah, big number 69 came off his block just a hair too early, or that would have been a touchdown. 69 is Derek Edelman from Lavernia. Just came off just a hair too early, and Mackey couldn't break that last tackle.
Those Lavernia guys are all going to be playing big-time college football. 2 of them right there on the offensive line.
Touchdown.
Team Blue goes back to the ground and go with what you know, as the album goes. Touchdown, Team Blue, and that's William Reynolds from Wagner High School, who's had himself a heck of a ball game.
They got a lot of big bruising backs on that side of the ball, Chuck, between Chris Geller, Will Reynolds, Adrian McDade, obviously the 4x100 track star, Luke Estrada, Jalen Glover, you name it, they're going to run through your face. It's the Marshawn Lynch style of running. Just keep pounding over and 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 over. And eventually they're not going to want to block you. They're not going to want to tackle you.
Yeah, especially when you think about this being an all-star game, right? But I don't see anybody backing down just yet. This has been an unbelievable performance by both of these teams.
Man, don't tell them it's an all-star game.
Right? Who says this doesn't mean anything? You got bragging rights here at stake in the dome.
There's a scoreboard here, isn't there?
Last I checked, and it's blue 14, white 14. White, the ball is in your court now.
You're watching the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by Valero.
Welcome back to the Alamodome. We got a barn burner again this year. Late third quarter, game all square at 14. And, you know, Matt, we talked about this at halftime with our good friends at Valero, bringing us beyond the game, them tag teaming with San Antonio Sports to show us all of the things some of these young people are doing in the community, both at the high school level and the middle school level. And it's just such an honor to be able to tell those stories every week with, you know, what these kids are doing in terms of helping younger kids in their community, whether it's reading to kids or going to the food bank and passing out food there. I mean, it just week in and week out, as you see Jenny Carnes and Seymour Battle from Valero there with some of the kids that were featured this year. Just a good-looking crew right there doing a lot of nice things.
They do so much because there's players that are on this field right now that wouldn't be on this field without San Antonio Sports. Israel Zapata from Burbank High School, he's on Team White. He was a kid in the iPlay after-school program back in the day during elementary school. That's where he first found his love and his passion for sports. Now it comes full circle. He's playing his last high school football game in the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game and inspiring him to get to where he is right now.
Yeah, and athletic directors all over the city, you know, Stan Lang comes to mind too. It's, here's what we're going to do. You're going to go to school. You're going to play sports. You're going to come to practice. You're going to give effort, max effort in all these things. And in your spare time, you're going to learn how to give back and do selfless service that is going to fill your bucket just like these other things are. And it's become ingrained in these young people, and it's become a cultural thing. And it's very, very inspiring, and, you know, a nudge to guys like you and me to maybe we could be doing a little bit more. Well done, Valero. Well done, San Antonio Sports, for all you do in that regard, and obviously for everybody that participated again this year. Still got more to come, but have participated so far in the Beyond the Game.
Chuck, hats off as well to all the coaches in our area who do such a great job of molding these young men into guys that are going to contribute to society. Just hats off to them as well.
Got a blitz coming again, and Caden Keith's able to break it and get outside, and now he's picking up an HEB first down with his feet.
Caden Keith has a couple offers. I think it's UTRGV and Houston Christian right now, but you can't tell me that kid can't play on the next level.
Oh, no, there's definitely no question about it.
You tell me UIW couldn't use someone like that. You tell me UTSA couldn't use someone to sit behind Owen McCown and play like that. I'm not telling Jeff Traylor how to do his job by any means. He knows more. He's forgotten more about football than I know. But, man, that kid can play some football.
Right. Team White picking up the blitz that time and deciding to check it down and picking up a couple. And unfortunately for Caden Keith, he did not see a wide receiver streaking way down the field on that particular play.
I don't think he had enough time.
That could be it, but like Cole Redding, he had himself a big play on the back end of that.
They're putting some pressure on him, so making him roll out of the pocket, not giving him time to pick him apart deep, because there's guys running open down the field. Got a little lucky on that one, too. That should have been caught. But there's guys open down the field, and if Caden has enough time, he's going to find them. We proved that all year. He's already proven that in this game. We're going to see if, we start ramping up the blitzes on this Team Blue side.
Yeah, and they're coming, but Team White is definitely max protecting, and there was a lot of mustard. If you're worried about his arm strength, certainly wouldn't have to worry about that after watching that last throw whiz by the receiver. Caden sprinting out to his left this time, and he's got pursuit on the back end from the defense. Oh. Able to get by it, but not able to pick at the sticks. However, going to be very close to it and bring up an interesting call here, Matthew, on fourth down.
Man, did you see Dylan Avalos on that play? Dylan Avalos, the Brennan defensive lineman, bust through a double team and almost chased down Caden Keith for that tackle. My goodness, what a play by the young man.
Brennan fight never dies, right? You see that every week.
Look at this. Look at 99. Get through. And if who is that, 24? If 24 doesn't pick him up, Caden Keith is in for a rude awakening.
Still able to come in and help out on the tackle despite it. Getting chipped.
Fourth down now. Big play in this ball game.
Going to go right up the middle with it, and maybe that last second effort looked like they got it from here, but I don't know that they're going to not mark him short.
That's Rashawn Conway. Wow. Wow. What a play by the defensive line. You see how quickly three bodies on that defensive line got on Rashawn Conway? Check this out. Just watch the D-line get penetration. 1, 2, 3, all around. Actually, that's number 9 coming on the blitz from the outside. That's Joshua Gray from Roosevelt High School getting in there on that tackle. That was a group effort to stop that, and now the momentum shifts again, Chuck. We were just talking about it. Team Blue wants to play from ahead. They have a chance to get ahead right now. If they can get a touchdown on this drive, it's going to go a long way to winning this ball game.
To your point, I mean, the fact that he almost picked up that first down and looked like it was a pretty good spot there on the replay. I mean, it's hard to imagine he can even get that ball remotely upfield with 3 guys right there in the backfield.
My goodness, Avalos made his presence felt again. Watch the safety blitz now.
Ooh, almost picked off. Great job there, plugging up the throwing lane by Team White. That's number 28 on the play, Caleb Gale from Piper High School, who we've mentioned a couple times here recently.
Did they show blitz and then drop? Check this out. Left side of your screen, they brought the safety blitz, and then the linebacker just dropped right into coverage. Put the other hand up, young man. Catch that ball. That's a big play that can happen right there. No, he is in coverage already. So actually, his man is the back. That's really interesting. His man's the back. He sees the receiver coming right behind him in that zone coverage. Now he's coming on a blitz.
Ball is away. Delivered on time. Ball is caught. Nice job there by Chris Geller from Holmes High School.
These two teams play vastly different styles of defense, too. Team White plays a 3-3-5 stack, which means they have 3 D linemen, 3 backers, and then they play 5 DBs trying to prevent huge plays from happening. We've seen that in this game where they prevented Team Blue from getting those big plays. On the other side, Team Blue plays an even front, which means they're going to have 4 defensive linemen. They're not going to cover up the center. They're going to have a 1 and a 3 tech, and they're going to try and make moves on those with those 4 defensive linemen, keep 7 in coverage. We've seen them blitz a lot. We've seen Team White start bringing those linebackers in on run blitzes. So we're going to see how talk about a run blitz.
Yeah, that was a rip and read, and there was nowhere to go, whether you let it go to the running back or whether the quarterback keeps it. I mean, that was, hey, everybody, there's a quarterback back there and a running back. Let's all meet back there, and Arriaga and company stoned that one at the gate, but that will end the third quarter of football here.
What a game, Chuck.
What a ball game is right. The little guy having some fun. There's another big guy having some fun. Tristan Escobar recovering fumbles and showing off his punting skills. Tyson Dean, what a ball game he's had. Now,
Will Reynolds having some fun,
right,
too.
we got Will Reynolds and company have squared this game. It's 14-14 when we come back.
Closed captioning for today's game is sponsored by Living Way Church.
It's been a well of a ball game, y'all. We are all square through 3 quarters inside the Alamodome at the 47th anniversary of the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero. No reason to think, Matthew, that we're not going to have more of the same here in this highly contested fourth quarter we're about to unfold.
You know, I'm expecting some fireworks in this fourth quarter.
got a fake.
Speaking of.
Oh,
I
we had
love
a
it.
little check down, but nobody on Team White goes for it. It's all right. I like the effort. Possessions are going to be needed in this football game if you want to win it.
You get that to the up back. I believe that was Bennett Stein from Central Catholic who received the ball there, and then he tried to throw it downfield. There was nobody open. It was very well covered on special teams. What I was going to say before the punt, I'm expecting fireworks for a couple reasons, but mainly because both of these coaches told me They want to get everybody some playing time the first 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, it's going to be, we're going to see some more of those starters. Starters are going to stay in the game a little bit longer. They're going to ride the hot hand. So you're going to see more Caden Keith here probably. He's been on fire for the Piper Warriors and for Team White, and here he goes again.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot there. I mean, Team Blue was a little confused at the snap, running in guys late, but hats off to having 2 guys back there deep, and Caden Keith just throwing it past everybody and saying to himself, just get me to second down. Let's do a reset.
Yeah, it looked like he was indecisive on exactly who he wanted to go to. He had a guy outside, he had a guy running down the seam, and he didn't really throw it near either of them.
Well, he got twin receivers left and right this time, and now Caden Keith's going to keep it himself and
put that ball away.
Pressure on the back end. Great job bird dogging the quarterback and spying him all the way.
Guess who?
Is Ocean Zuniga.
Were you thinking what I was thinking when he was running that ball with the out in his hand and not put away? You better put that ball away, young man. Ocean Zuniga's hunting.
Yeah, because Ocean was thinking too the same thing.
Exactly.
Little Rammstein. Let me see you stripped. Almost got it too. Made that ball move a little bit. Here we go. Big play on third down here early in this fourth quarter. Caden Keith dropping and had a man just obviously not synced up with his receiver, but they may want to go back to that play.
Yeah. If we could pull that play up, look how wide open the middle of the field was. It was cover 2, and Azarian Voss is running right up the seam, and he's right in between the 2 safeties. If he breaks that off a little bit, check this out. Azarian Voss is in the slot. He's going to run right in between the 2 safeties. All you need to do is keep that a little fatter. Caden Keith thought he was going to run more upfield a little bit fatter, which means a little bit more towards the sideline and not skinnier. Azarian Voss and Southwest, they probably keep their posts skinny, which means they're running more up the field towards the post. If he had broken that off, that was a touchdown.
Almost a roughing the punter situation not called, and look who's got the ball, Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Special Teams, Mr. Defense, Mr. Offense.
Mr. Punt Returner.
Tristan Escobar. We're back after this.
All fourth quarter replays today brought to you by Valero. Every time we've got a replay, thank you, Valero.
Searching for a great price on a car, truck, or RV?
Don't look any further than Ansira.com.
Mobile, laptop, or desktop, low prices are right at your fingertips.
Ansira.com, 24/7, the easiest way to save. Thousands of vehicles at your fingertips, and that's new or pre-owned.
24/7, shop at Ansira.com today.
Better way to save.
That's right. If you want to save time and money, you're looking for a new car, used car, RV, truck, Ansira.com is the place to go. You shop 24/7 at Ansira.com. It's the better way to save. At Valero, we know tomorrow is built on the actions that we take today. That's why right now, we're proud to partner with San Antonio Sports to present this year's All-Star Game. Valero.
Welcome back to the Alamodome here in beautiful downtown San Antonio. Checking out their phones during the commercial break.
Here we go, double meet.
Oh, this dude's right up your wheelhouse, man.
He and I will get along swimmingly.
The fact that he likes double meat 190 pounds. Well done.
Yeah, that's how you get to 275 like your boy here. Just keep eating double meat Whataburgers.
Oh, that's worth it, dude. Sometimes you gotta alert yourself on something, right?
Oh man, Jack Green and I got some Whataburger on the way back from the Cowboys game last week. He's a jalapeno bacon guy, so he likes it spicy.
There was some spice right there on the defense. Team White bottling up that first play to start this drive, and now Team Blue coming out. They're going to fire it quickly, get the ball up the field. Nice throw there by Mr. Mackey. Find his teammate Nick Hall. from Holy Cross.
19.
Who's going to break through, Chuck? Who is going to break through? Team white, team blue. Who's going to make the play to win this ball game?
I like that play design right there. I know you do too, but ball is out. Oh, they're going to call it. They're going to call it dead?
How many balls, how many fumbles has Team Blue hopped on today? Every single one. Sometimes you just need a couple of breaks your way. This oblong-shaped football, it's definitely a catch. Puts it away.
Definitely a fumble.
Bennett Stein falls right on top of it. Right place, right time. Every single fumble has gone Team Blue's way today.
Yeah, I like the play design, though. Mackey doing a great job of selling like he's going to run and then creating space and getting the ball upfield for the first down. Fumble notwithstanding, of course. Oh, talk about squaring somebody up. Hello.
Jaden Glover on the carry.
Is that William? Is that? I thought that was Will Reynolds again. I think that's Jalen Glover running the ball.
I wasn't able to catch the number.
It was 20. It was Jalen Glover again trying to break that one through, but white defense sending him back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's a couple of times now here on first down. You really put Team Blue behind the chains and force them to be a little more creative here on second down. Want the home run ball, got single coverage, but
that's a
yeah, that was going to be tough to complete either way, but not making things any easier on that was the fact that Aiden Rich lost his footing while he was coming out of his break.
You made the observation in the break. This has been a pretty clean ball game.
Yeah.
Not a lot of flags. I would argue that there probably should have been one there. That was looked like a little bit of a defensive tug on the receiver there. I don't know if he lost his footing or not, but it did look like a little bit of jostling.
I
the
think
outside.
in a game like this too, of course, the referees are going to be a little more judicious throwing the flags. I mean, we had a play earlier that actually set up a touchdown the play before, and there were players running off the field and the ball was snapped. So, there's going to be some grace given the fact that these teams have only had 5 days to prepare for this ball game.
Love that play design too.
Yep, got some blockers.
Watch out. That's the play. That's what they've been trying to set up, is those screen passes, and they still barely got that one to him because of the way that the quarterbacks are having to run backwards. Look how far Isaiah Mackey has to go back when he wants to throw this ball. He's 6-7 yards from the line of scrimmage. Barely gets that one to Jalen Glover, but if you get it to your playmakers, good things are going to happen, Chuck.
Absolutely, and Jalen Glover really stepping up here late in the second half. All right, they're going to throw it outside again.
Watch out.
And again, they got some blocking out in front. And Team Blue going with a little more tempo here on this drive to try to give Team White a little bit different look. And now you're going to see some wholesale changes on defense as they try to keep some guys fresh on that side of the ball for Team White.
They rotate a lot on defense at Piper. They're doing it a lot here. They got a lot more bodies. Watch out, Nick Hall.
He scored. Wow. Thought he's going out of bounds. I don't think so, Chuck. Kids in the hall and in the end zone.
Nick Hall in the hole, in the end zone. Holy Cross did a lot of that this year, getting into the end zone. Knocked him over by Isaiah Mackey. What a play. He was wide open in the flat out there. Isaiah Mackey finds his guy, and Nick Hall does the rest. There was no one out there. A blown coverage on Team White, and Nick Hall making it happen. Look at this play. Nobody out there. No one within 15 yards of him.
You know what's sort of strange? I'll share it after we see the extra point attempt, which is good. And we'll get to it on the second half, but a lot of people snickering at us when we're going through the picking process. Oh, these Holy Cross guys, because we have to pick these guys at midseason. It's like, you may want to go watch these boys play before you start casting aspersions. They're showing up and showing out tonight, just like we thought. Huge play to give Team Blue the lead with 7:42 left.
Welcome back. It's time for our ACNowSA.com's collision of the game, and let's all just play a game and meet at the quarterback. Team White, everyone, 6, 7, 8 guys rally to the football, and it's big old number 9, Patrick Arriaga, getting credited for that tackle, but honestly, it should just be a half tackle for all of them, huh, there, Chuck?
Yeah, and, kudos to, it's not fair for the ball carrier, right? It's like 1 against 7, man. Guy held his own.
Here we go.
Hello.
Great return here, setting Team White up in perfect field position. That's Lee McMullian from Randolph High School, taking it all the way down to the 43-yard line. And Caden Keith and these boys don't need a lot of help. 57 yards to tie the ball game here. We got 7:33 left, Chuck. We are in for a doozy.
Seems like same time next year, right, with this ball game. Highly competitive, hotly contested, a lot of smash mouth, and then, big play right there, right? Your team just gives up the lead, and then all of a sudden you get a great play from your special teams to give your offense a decent shot at coming down here and trying to square the game.
Air raid offense from Piper and Team White. Got 4 receivers out there, 1 running back, Caden Keith, trying to make something happen, bring this team back. He's already scrambling too. He sees Isaiah Champagne, who almost had the catch of the game right there on the sideline.
Caden Keith's made some big throws in this ball game. That may have been his best throw. Because the defense was absolutely right there. Jamari Smothers, who's had a whale of a ball game, was right there. You talk about basically throwing a guy open. That was a dime right there, and unfortunately for Team White, they weren't able to make the connection, but what an effort.
That would have been the catch of the game. Smothering him. Isaiah Champagne almost brought that one down. Rolling out left again, wide open. This is what we're going to see a lot of in this fourth quarter, Chuck. Keith, Isaiah Champagne, do what you're comfortable with, do what you're familiar with, get it to your own guy. Let's see if they can win this ball game.
And it all starts with some of those guys that are blocking, Team Blue continues to bring the heat, and I'm just really impressed with Caden Keith's ability to roll to his wrong hand or his wrong side and deliver a dime on time.
Well, they're getting him out of the pocket as well, which is something that is a Piper staple here. We're seeing a lot of 4 receiver sets now. Champagne in the middle. He's still not down. He's still fighting for yards. That's going to be a first down for Team White, and they're cooking with gas. 1st and 10 from the 33 now as we tick under 7 minutes in this ball game.
Yeah, got definitely some rhythm to these last few plays, and quite frankly, it seems like Team Blue, maybe for the first time this game, a little bit playing on skates on this particular drive.
Shocker, it was Isaiah Champagne again. I'm telling you, Keith is just going to keep looking for who he's comfortable with. That one through the hands of the receiver. Going to be 2nd and 10, 6:37 left in the fourth quarter. Chuck, what are you expecting coming up here?
Well, I like that play too, but you got to make a play for your guy. Your quarterback's running for his life, and, these are big plays here down the stretch. You're down 7. It's a first down play. Make it easy on yourself. Just pick up the yards that are afforded to you, but I don't know. These little screens are working out nice, but those seam plays that we were talking about earlier were working out nice too. Let's see.
Looking for the shot right here. That's
oh no.
Interception. Interception by number 1 again. It's Jamari Smothers. His 2nd interception of the ball game, getting up, dancing with everyone in the stands. What a play by Smothers, taking it away from the receiver, and Caden Keith sending it up, trying to make a play, Chuck.
We saw it as soon as it left his hands there, Matt, that this was not going to be something that he wanted to do. Team Blue, 2 guys back there. It would have taken a miracle for somebody on White to come down with that ball. And the way Smothers has played in this ball game, ball hawking, he just ball hawked his way to an MVP title if they hang on to win this game.
Yeah, he might be taking it away from one of his defensive teammates right there too. Jamari Smothers putting Team Blue in prime position to try and salt this game away. 6:27 left. They take over on the 20-yard line. A touchdown here would all but seal it. That's going to be a run by Will Reynolds, the Wagner running back.
You want to try to stay in bounds, too, if you're Team Blue. But, hey, let's not go to sleep on that celebration. That was an elite improvisation to be able to shimmy up those stairs and then go find some friends and family
as someone
celebrate.
As someone who has slipped, here we go. Look at that. And he's dancing. As someone who has slipped with cleats on before, I would never try that.
No, I wouldn't either. I pulled a rib muscle just thinking about what that might have looked like.
I'd break
for
my
me.
ankle.
Look out. Woo.
Oh, Isaiah Mackey running it right up the middle and seeking out the contact. Gets the first down for Team Blue.
How often do you see your quarterback do something like that in an exhibition, huh? I think this guy doesn't want to win.
He knows the score. He knows what's on the scoreboard right now. 21-14, Isaiah Mackey getting the first down for Team Blue. A few more of those. Team White's going to have to start using those timeouts. Getting the play in here. This has been a really fun game, Chuck.
It really has. And I mean, we've seen some big plays on offense, of course, but even the defense has chipped in nicely today.
Setting up with two men in the backfield alongside Isaiah Mackey. He's rolling out left. He tried to get that to number 14. I believe that is Aiden Rich from Pleasanton High School. It was a one-read route, so Aiden Rich not open, takes it, picks up 3 yards.
Got to be very, very cognizant right here about keeping that clock running. It's one of those things. It's hard to get everything in that you need to have in when you're talking about having only a week of practice to get these guys ready to play. But they've left 45 seconds on this clock just by running the ball out of bounds. When you're thinking about getting close to the sideline, take a dip upfield and make sure you stay in the field of play.
Chuck, one thing we haven't really talked about yet is all the stickers on everyone's helmets. That's one of my favorite traditions of the All-Star game. Aiden Rich tries to catch that one. Looks like it was an incomplete pass. Going to be 3rd down and 7. But going back to that, look at the helmets. All the stickers from all the different schools, they all exchange it, put it on their own helmets. One of my favorite traditions of the game.
It is, and when you're a fan or you're watching on TV, it's great. But when you're trying to seek these guys out from 100 feet away, 100 yards
I was going to say 100 feet.
Yeah, makes it a little interesting. But yeah, it's a time-honored tradition, right? And well-earned for these guys to be able to do what they want here on an exhibition game. I mean, obviously, all these guys are giving of their time and putting on one heck of a show again this year in the San Antonio Sports High School All-Star Game.
5 wide now for Isaiah Mackey, trying to find someone. He's going to take it himself, and he's got the first down. That's going to be really close. From up here, it looked like he might have gotten it. They're going to mark him a football short. It's going to be 4th. No, they gave him the first down. Where the line judge was, it looked like he was going to be about a foot short. It looks like they're going to give him the first down.
Yeah, Nick Rogers and his staff not at all thrilled. Obviously, it happened right in front of them, but...
Quick, get on the ball. You got a bunch formation on the right-hand side. 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 back. Isaiah Mackey giving this one to William Reynolds, who's going to go ahead and get about 7 on that one.
Just 30 yards right there by William Reynolds. You talk about a guy, trying to stay in bounds and, get the ball upfield. I mean, these snaps are precious at this point.
Here we go, two guys in the backfield once again. 3 wide for Isaiah Mackey. 2nd down and 3. One more read option. Will Reynolds trying to break free, but what a tackle that was. Number 44 in white. Looks like that's Sam Oakland from Randolph High School, dragging down Will Reynolds, putting this game in the hands of Isaiah Mackey on a pivotal 3rd and 5.
Well, that's just a couple of heavyweight fighters going at it right there. I mean, neither one wanted to give up an inch, and ultimately Sam Oakland able to wrestle down the ball carrier and bring up this Huge 3rd and 5 call.
Put the tight end out there and let him get the first down.
Play him making plays.
He breaks through. That, I don't know about you, Chuck. I didn't think that play was going anywhere.
No, I didn't either. Although they had guys out there to block, and the screens have really started to heat up here as we move through this ball game. Both teams having a hard time getting that play going. But here we go. It's all set up. You got some blockers, but oh, look at that. He shucked one of those blocks, or one of those tacklers, I should say. And
I think that was double D from SV, Diego Davila, that got shook off by Bennett Stein from Central Catholic.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Oh, there, he's
right?
got a man open, but he's under duress. I think that was Aiden Rich, number 14, who was wide open, streaking down the field, coming across on a post. Isaiah Mackey couldn't see him because he was under duress in the backfield. This game is far from over, Chuck, but plays like Bennett Stein just made are really going to go a long way for Team Blue to win this ball game.
Well, we do have a long way to go for sure, but you know, I think if you're Team Blue right now and Eddie Salas, you know, you're thinking about a couple of things, right? Obviously moving the chains, but you want to make these guys start burning their timeouts. And once they do, you know, you're looking at probably 3 first downs. If you can get that, you're going to win the football game. Hello.
Oh, what a catch. What a catch. Carter Williams, number 17 from Canyon Lake High School.
Yeah, the one guy in the building that was able to locate the ball. I mean, just when you're thinking about, hey, guys, let's work on the clock a little bit, they decide they're going to take some gas shots.
There's 3 men covering him.
Isaiah
3
Mackey,
of them.
yeah, he just eludes the sack back there and just throws it up for his guy, and he's the only one that finds the ball.
The difference in this game is that Caden Keith threw one of those on the last possession. It was picked off by Jamari Smothers. Team Blue, Isaiah Mackey throws it up to his guy, and his guy comes down with it. That's the difference in this ball game right now. Team Blue not turning it over, and they are in prime position to put the nail in the coffin with 2:40 left. Isaiah Mackey giving it off to William Reynolds one more time. Looks like he's going to pick up a couple, maybe 3 yards on the zone read. This might take us down to 2 minutes. Nick Rogers is going to have to start thinking about using those timeouts here.
Dude, Diego Davila might be one of my favorite guys ever. Did you see that?
He's
took
phenomenal.
on a guy that was like 3 times bigger than him and kind of stood over and looked at him like, no, man, not today.
You think he cares?
No.
You think he cares?
Oh, my
Larry
goodness.
Hill has gotten into his head saying, you don't care, son.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Go get him.
Guys that love football, man. We see it all day long here in San Antonio every week. Obviously seeing it here tonight with the best of the best. Good show, y'all.
Here we go, Isaiah Mackey trying to pound this one in there. It's going to be about 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6, 1:44 left. Nick Rogers holding on to all of his timeouts right now. Seeing it, I'm guessing that he's going to see if he can get this stop on 3rd down, and if he does, it'll be a timeout. It'll be a timeout here, and then see if the All-Stars, Jonathan Leos, the kicker for the Team Blue, can make a game-sealing, what I would think, field goal there, Chuck.
Yeah, you'd have to like your chances, right? If you were able to just at least kick a field goal here and go up by 2 scores.
We've got a timeout on the field, and we'll take it with them. 21-14, 1:08 left here in the Alamodome in the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero. We'll be right back.
$66,000 volunteer hours, more than $68 million
You're watching the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by Valero.
Welcome back to the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero. 1:08 left. It's decision time. It's a reverse. Will Reynolds trying to get the first down, but a great play. Guess who? Diego Davila, double D from SV, making the play. Team White taking a timeout now with 1 minute left. It's going to be about a 4th and 8. Looks like Team Blue is going to come on, try and kick the field goal, go up by 10 points with a minute left. You have to think, if they make this field goal, their kicker, Jonathan Leos from Reagan High School, 2-time All-District. He's 80 of 81 on PATs, 9 of 13 on field goals. The only PAT he missed, by the way, was a bad snap. He's long of 47. Looks like this one would be just about a 30-yarder. If he can make this one, I think this ball game is all but over unless something miraculous happens in the last minute. But what a showing from Team Blue. Go down 14-7. You're not that explosive offense. You know, you're dealing with one of the most explosive air raid offenses in the area, with Nick Rogers and his offensive coordinator calling the plays. They have their quarterback, they have their receiver, and you hold them to 14 points, forcing 4 turnovers, and the offense doing enough to put them in position to win this ball game. Let's see if Jonathan Leos can put this game away. It will be a 30-yard field goal. The holder is Cade Jones from Kerrville-Tivy. Snap is good. Hold is good. It is up. It is good. Team Blue takes a 10-point lead. 56 seconds to go in this All-Star game. And what a second half from Team Blue. 17 points outscored this team, 17-7 in the second half. Eddie Salas and his guys knew that the scoreboard mattered, and they are making their presence felt. Now it falls on the defense. Are you going to give Team White any life? They haven't this whole game. They forced 4 turnovers, 2 picks of Caden Keith, 2 fumbles recovered by Tristan Escobar. Both picks, by the way, of Jamari Smothers, who has made his case for player of the game. We'll see if he can pull it off and see if he has another great play in him. Look at his dance moves coming out of the huddle too. He knows he's had a good game. Look at the young man. Let's see if they can pull off a quick strike, and then it'll come down to an onside kick. You know, this team plays just like Eddie Salas wants his team to play. This is going to be a squib kick too, the way that Leos is lining up here. Not going to give him a chance to return this one. They're still going to try. Got to try and make a play happen. Was smart by Eddie Salas' squad not to give the returners any life there, especially with Tyson Dean and AZ Voss from Southwest, 4-3 runners back there. You don't want to give them any opportunity. What I was going to say about Eddie Salas, though, is 2023 Texas High School Association Coach of the Year. He's never missed the playoffs at Harlan High School. They've been open since 2017. He's never missed the playoffs. This year he went as far as he's gone as far as they ever have. 4th round regional finals, lost to Vandergrift. 12-2 year. He's 65-20 in his time at Harlan. He knows how to win, and he's 52 seconds away from putting another feather in his cap. A lot of movement up front from this D line as Caden Keith drops back to pass, rolls out right like he has all day. You got to get out of bounds. You got to get out of bounds. He does it. I think he heard me. That's Nick Henry. Scored the touchdown a little bit earlier. 43 ticks left. That play took 9 seconds for less than 9 yards. So you're going to have to get a few more big chunks here. A few more big chunks here if you want to try and crawl your way back into this ball game. 5 wide now, looks like 10 personnel. Caden Keith rolling left, looking deep. He is sacked. He is sacked. That's number 12. Micah Haneke, South Side, stand up. More accurately, South Side, lay down. He is hyped, getting Caden Keith down on the ground as Caden Keith had a man open downfield. Not today, my friend, not today. Micah Haneke, 2-time All-District down on the South Side for the Cardinals. They have done a great job down there because of guys like him. All right, and it's time with 34 seconds left for our Christian Children's play of the game. And what else would it be besides the go-ahead touchdown by William Reynolds? That put Team Blue up 21-14. Tacked on the field goal later, it's now 24-14. Do the Gator chomp, young man. Put your team up for good. Thank you to Christian Children's for once again being one of our sponsors on TNL and on the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by Valero. 34 ticks now, 3rd and 9. Bringing some pressure. You got 5 men coming. He's trying to get it out. Throws that one just out of the reach of Azarian Voss. This is last chance you. Last chance time for Team White. 4th and 9. Got 1 timeout left. 28 seconds. Got to try and get a first down first. You can't score without, well, you could. You could score on this play, I guess. But 64 yards would be a little difficult. Got 5 wide. Last chance here for Caden Keith. He's rolling right as he's done all day. Send it. And once again, he didn't get sacked, but he might as well have. Team Blue. Team Blue seals this one with the defensive stop. Believe that was once again Tristan Escobar on it. He has had a whale of a ball game. Check this out one more time. Nobody open all day. Caden Keith trying to send it deep, but nobody's there. He just gets it out. And who is that? Tristan Escobar. Not today, my friend. Team Blue now with the ball, 15 seconds left. Be surprised if this is anything but a knee. Don't know if Tristan Escobar is going to be the player of the game, but there's about 5-6 players that could get that title, including him, Jamari Smothers, Isaiah Mackey, Will Reynolds. The entire defensive line for Team Blue did a magnificent job today, and they are in victory formation. This ball game is over. Time will tick down here. And Team Blue, Eddie Salas and his squad assert their dominance. And they win this game 24-14. Coach Salas with the game ball. I see him looking behind him just in case there's a Gatorade bath coming. I don't know if there is one, Coach. What a ball game we had in the Alamodome today. Chuck McIntyre getting down to the field to get the trophies, hand out some hardware with Jenny Carnes. 24-14 your final here in the Alamodome. We'll be right back.
broadcast of the 2025 San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game is presented by Valero and sponsored by Whataburger, H-E-B, Frost, Methodist Healthcare, and Sierra Auto Group, Taco Cabana, Thomas J. Henry, Via, Coca-Cola, The PM Group, Powerade, Crisis, Outdoors, The Gomez Law Firm, Beluga Air, Centro Med, Enroll SA, Living Way Church, Christus Children's, San Antonio Zoo, Air and Plumbing Today, the Vietnam Army Grunt Museum, IBEW Local 60, and ACNowSA.com.
Easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down. Rock that run, that this how we from. Easy now, no need to go down. Easy now, no need to go down. Rock that run, that this how we from.
Welcome to the Valero Postgame Show.
Thank you very much. All right, San Antonio, did y'all have some fun? All right, we're going to ask for a little participation from the audience here. We could not have done this without the kind folks at San Antonio Sports and Valero. At the count of three, I want everybody to say, hi, Jenny. Jenny Carnes, the CEO from SA Sports is here. All right, ready? On the count of three, we want to say, hi, Jenny. 1, 2, 3. Man, you guys are quick learners. What a ball game again we had for you this year, the San Antonio Sports High School Football All-Star Game presented by Valero. Team blue, team white, team blue comes out on top by the final score of 24-14. How about the effort by both of these teams here today, y'all? Thank you all for giving of your time, giving us your talents and your efforts this week, and you entertained us all. All right, first of all, we're going to talk to Nick Rogers. Nick, how was the week for you, and how fun was it to coach this group of amazingly talented football players?
It was a ton of fun. It's not very often that you get to put this much talent on the same field, so we're super blessed and fortunate as a staff to be able to coach this game.
Just what did you think how the game unfolded, and did everything happen the way you wanted to? I mean, where do you think things maybe did not go your way?
No, it didn't go exactly how we wanted to, because obviously anytime you're keeping score, you want to win the football game. But it's tough putting stuff together in a short week. But again, super proud of these guys, the effort, and the way that they came together as a team.
Coach Rogers, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you. Great job. Clean game. Both sides playing very well. Very few flags. Now we're going to talk to the man of the hour over here on the blue team, the winning team. Man who's a lot of winning in his time too, just like Coach Rogers has done at High School. Eddie Salas, y'all. Eddie, week I'm sure trying to get all this to come together as quickly as it did. How were you able to do it?
You know, these guys came in together, and just watching their campus to practice, and even in the game, I knew we had something special. And even though it's been only a week, I feel like we grew to be a good little family in a week. And, you know, I love coaching football, but I love instilling life on kids more than anything else.
Well said. Can you talk about the effort by both of these teams? I don't think anybody told you guys or the other team too, Team White, that this was an exhibition. This was supposed to be for fun. I saw a lot of hitting, and I saw a lot of guys laying it all out there tonight.
I'm going to tell you, on both sides, these are the best in San Antonio. These are the kids that are the leaders on their campus and all that. And there's no doubt that they're competitive, and they did what they did on both sides.
No slights at all to the offense. I know how hard it is to throw something like this together last second, but there were elite level defenders in this game. Guys that were making plays on both teams. But it's time to name our MVP, and it'll only be one. And the man that had 2 interceptions in this ball game from Roosevelt School. Others, give it up for Jamari, y'all. Well done, Jamari. How'd you do it, Jamari? I mean, you kind of set the tone there early on with the early interception, and then, by the way, mad skills finding the steps and then somebody to go celebrate the second touchdown. Take us through both of them if you don't mind.
I mean, just to be honest, I can't do it without the men above. You know, God is my Lord and Savior, and that's really what it is. And then the guys behind me too. You know, from coach to the players. You know, we worked through all week, even in the freezing weather. But like, you know, it's cool. We come out here, we balled, and I got some hardware.
You did. When you got here this week, was this at all in your mind as a possibility that you're going to come out here and leave here with an MVP?
I mean, anyone wants to come off on top, you know, whether, you know, you got confidence or not. You know, you want to come off on top at all. So, I mean, yeah, it was on my mind. I want to win. I'm a winner in life.
Well, you were a winner today. You well said a lot of nice things, and I think a lot of us can leave here with congratulations, young, well earned. Jamari Smothers, Roosevelt High School, is your MVP of the 47th anniversary of the San Antonio Sport High School All-Star Game. There's one more trophy to give out, and it is to the victorious team. It's the Pastor Check Trophy. It's Jenny Carnes and Team Blue. Y'all celebrate tonight.
once again, thanks for coming out to the 2025 San Antonio All-Star Football Game presented by Valero. We appreciate y'all coming out and supporting these young men in that final football game on the field. And good luck to all the football players in your future, whether it's on another field or in business or in college. Good luck. God bless. Good night from all of us here at the Alamodome.
Welcome to the Valero Postgame Show.
Welcome back into the Alamodome, the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game presented by Valero. Team Blue victorious tonight, 24-14. And let's check out the game highlights, shall we? It was a whale of a ball game. These are the Gomez Law Firm highlights of this football game. We're going to start off with Isaiah Mackey, Team Blue. That's a heck of a run right there by Isaiah Mackey getting the scoring started. But the game took a turn. Caden Keith out to Nick Henry out of Seguin. He does the work himself. No one can catch him into the end zone. That tied the ball game up. And then just a little bit later in the third quarter, this is what they do at Piper High School, and that's why Caden Keith had all those touchdowns this year. To Tyson Dean, that gave him a 7-point lead. And then Will Reynolds tied it up. 14 Blue, that made it 14 all, doing the Gator Chomp. And then how about this one to take the lead? That's Nick Hall, Holy Cross's best, sending this one to the scoreboard. He goes to the residence. Those are the Gomez Law Firm highlights of this game. It was a heck of a ball game here and a heck of a season for TNL and the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. One of my favorites that I've covered here in San Antonio, the 2024 season. Congratulations to all of the All-Stars and all of the teams that participated this year. 68 schools represented today in the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game. For Chuck McTinnick, Don Harris, myself, Matt Roy, everybody in the booth, especially our producer, Chris Kopfus, Brian Watts, they do a fantastic job getting all this stuff together, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. We had a great season. We look forward to seeing you next year on Thursday Night Lights.